the fabulous 8-Bit Bros program. You can check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m., Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Oh, what's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Bros. It is the late edition, still the quarantine edition. Cinco de Mayo is over, so should your hangover. With that being said, we have a great show lined up for you. As always, this is not a kid-friendly show.
No.
Adult language, adult content, probably adult topics as well. Do the right thing, people. Put your kids in the closet.
Welcome back to another fun-filled fact debacle we like to call the 8-Bit Bros Show. Center box gets a square.
What up, people?
That's Ren. You know who that is. Over here, me to the left, Web Boy. Yup. And to the right, 846 miles south, the one and only Thumpin' Loud. Gents. You get a new seat?
What?
I don't remember. Did you get a new seat? I just don't remember mine saying play seat across the top of it. And mine's folded down so I can't see it right now. Interesting. Oh, Dave Fitty. Yeah, I just don't remember it saying
Dave Fitty.
Dave Fitty too.
Well, no, Dave Fitty in New Jersey since all of the bars have closed. The actual quarantine is the Sunday after.
Right. We're at day 52 from bars closing.
No.
Yeah.
17th was bars closed. Count it out. 50 days. That's why I posted it in your Facebook channel today. Well, actually 50, because I actually went and counted them all out.
You got it wrong. It was that Monday it closed.
No. Monday was the last day you could go to a bar.
Right. 7 o'clock. That was it. Lockdown. Closed the bars at 8 o'clock.
You can't count that day. You could still go to the bar, because we did.
I like the fact that we are only really 50 to 55 days into this thing, and y'all are debating and arguing a remembrance
over 48 hours.
Do you remember the time before time changed?
The only reason why I say that is I went back to look at my calendar when you posted the 60-day comment. And maybe I misinterpreted it, or maybe it just wasn't clear the way you posted it. Either way. So I'm like, it can't be 60 days yet. No fucking way. No, I'm like, all right, go back. And I was like, all right, I know it closed St. Patrick's Day. Everything, there was no bars open St. Patrick's Day. So I'm calling that day 0. Because you could still go to a bar on the 16th till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So we all went and did the, as you like to call it, empty the keg party.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe and I ran around and hit a couple bars after we got back from Orange Theory doing our final weigh-in for the Transformation Challenge. And then St. Patrick's Day was the first day because we all had plans to go out for St. Patrick's Day. That was 50 days ago today.
I think you're wrong, and I'm going to make
Today is the 7th.
You make me scrub my timeline, aren't you?
17th is the first day bars were closed, St. Patrick's Day. Everything was canceled as of 7 p.m. in New Jersey on the 16th.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then the
try
following Sunday is when we really went into quarantine.
Yeah,
Where
trying to
they
go
closed
into your.
all non-essential business outside of grocery stores and all that. That's when Murphy dropped the effective 7 p.m. Sunday night. It's more or less a stay the fuck home.
I posted so much shit in this fucking. I can't even get. I'm in April. I can't even get to March.
Can't you chronologically? Isn't there like a
There is a calendar marker, yes, in Facebook.
On the new Facebook, you're not so much doing much of anything. They used to give you the chronological. You can find that if you go back too far.
I actually literally went to my calendar app and looked at dates and then started counting from April 17th. April 17th was 30 days.
Because I put it in the calendar, and for some fucking reason, it won't let me. Oh, because maybe if you typed it in here.
Maybe 51 days. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31. So, yes, 51 days.
March 9th. That was when the bars closed. March 10th was our first day of lockdown.
No, March 17th, St. Patrick's.
No, absolutely.
Yes.
March 9th.
No.
Yes. March 9th was 8 o'clock. Get out of the fucking bars. We're going into lockdown effective tomorrow. So Tuesday, the 10th, was technically the first day. My numbers are correct.
No. St. Patrick's Day was the first day.
No, it was not. St. Patrick's Day was on Tuesday. And no,
yes.
it was we were already in lockdown a week. Yes, sir. We were already in lockdown a week. It's in my calendar. I have it right here. Bars closed. Bar party. Empty the kegs. Right here. March 9th. I put it in the calendar. Just to make sure I wouldn't have this date.
Oh, it was a definite important date to be remembered.
Yeah,
God,
I put it.
Such an abundance of shit in your fucking timeline, though, man.
I know.
March 17th.
Dude, and I got you flagged as somebody that I see most of the shit that you post, too, and it's just like,
you are wrong, sir. New Jersey closing casinos, movie theaters, gyms tonight because of coronavirus. Takeout and delivery still open at restaurants and bars. Posted March 16th, 2020.
Oh, God, I'm still going back here. Make sure my dates are right. I'm in March 30th. Fuck me. And for this new Facebook, whatever they changed their programming language to is horrible. It's slow. Dude, if you're on Facebook more than like 10 minutes, all of a sudden everything scrolls slow.
Yeah, but you know whose it is, right? You know this is their proprietary shit. This is that in-house built shit.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, Zuckerberg's not been fucking around lately. Like when he talks about this platform being his own within its own, he's doing everything he can to make sure that that's exactly what it ends up. All the corona jokes. Web.
I can't be wrong, bro.
You are wrong. I just gave you the article from your local of local, The Patch.
You're talking about when we got quarantined.
No, I'm talking New Jersey.
I was going to say you were
restaurants, theaters.
You were already in quarantine. Happy St. Patrick's Day in New Jersey. You were already in quarantine that day.
That's when it started. Bars closed that day. They closed 7 p.m.
Yeah, and he partied a couple days. He partied a couple days before that.
All the bars and restaurants closed except for takeout on the 16th at 7 p.m.
Yes, March 16th. I'm seeing that here. So my calendar days are wrong here. Let me move that.
Because everyone that had planned on going and having a knockout dragout for St. Patrick's Day, bars could not. That's how I remember, because we planned for the first time. I was actually going to go do something for St. Patrick's Day in like 20 years.
All casinos, restaurants, bars, movie theaters, gyms must shut down at 8 p.m. Monday and will remain closed until further notice. New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. Right. Okay. So I gotta fix my shit now. That's gonna fuck up everything.
51 days.
So on the day off.
I forgot there was a 31st in
Okay,
March.
we're not complaining about it. We were just pointing out so you just didn't stay misinformed. Like we've said the entire time Corona's been going on, there's been so much fucking misinformation out there that we're supposed to be some kind of voice of like reason to like bicker through all the bullshit. So your timeline there. Now you know it's right.
Yes, March 16th was our last day out. Yeah. You went to Maloney's that day.
I went to Maloney's.
You went to Maloney's and did your part.
I went to Houlihan's.
You were pretty active on the 16th.
Yeah.
And I went someplace else.
Yes, I was
I
there.
hit three places all before 7 p.m.
I like the fact that on the 17th, though, that everybody got to wake up to the fact that Gary was hanging out with you.
You know what I think is even funnier? How about this? You ready? On March 16th, I posted Ghost Town. Even the local delis are closed at 8 p.m. Anybody spare a square?
Yeah, because even before that, you couldn't find TP.
Yeah, that was like before the big fucking TP crunch. That's funny. My package just showed up. I am happy. I now have a Connect.
Why do you
Why?
need
What do you need to connect for?
Oh, because this weekend I'm going to do my social distancing with my friends in New Orleans and put them on the big screen instead of everyone sitting with a tablet or a phone.
I knew it. I've got one in the garage, so I'm not worried
got
about
the
it.
adapter to plug it in.
No, that's the only thing I don't have.
Right. Well, I finally found one. And not for $150.
Meh.
Well, hopefully it works.
I wasn't spending that. Yeah, this company is making them now back in stock. $35. I'll take it all day long and see if it works, and then I will post out the information. I'm not going to do it until I know it works. Tuesday, the early edition. We
Things were said.
Well, we had a lot of conversations that I don't think were
It was
ever
Conspiracy Tuesday.
Yeah, we had a couple conversations that I don't think were ever really finished, and I know for one, Ren brought it, and I definitely wanted to revisit it.
Okay.
The movie industry little fucking debacle that's going on right now.
Yeah, that there's enough content for now, but come end of year or next year, there's going to be no content.
It was, and see, I don't agree. You'll get no content now, but as soon as filming resumes, they'll just start funneling that shit out. I mean, Netflix is dropping new shows. They just dropped.
Okay, my reason for saying that is maybe because I was in the industry. I know how long it takes to do post on a lot of this shit.
Absolutely.
So everything you're getting in the calendar year of 2020 was pretty much done shooting in 2019. So you have content, whether it's A, B, C, D rating movies, like quality of movie, story, you have enough of that out there to put movies out for the remainder of the year. The problem is, come the end of this year, you're going to get the slog of shit in January, February, March of next year when these people get to go back and start reshooting again, because everything is going to be hustled and hurried and pushed out the door. That's going to be the problem. It's going to be a lot of imperfect cinema. Sure. That was my point. You're going to have you're going to have content, but it's not going to be good content.
I don't know.
It's going to be rushed, hurried content because they're trying to recoup money they lost in 3 to 6 months' time. You got to figure it's going to be a 6-month proposition at this point in time.
Okay, so what about this? Because I've already seen this starting to happen. Okay, what if I don't know, whoever is going to sit down and fucking produce the next movie, blockbuster summer release or whatever the fuck, sends the camera equipment and shit to somebody's house and green screens out a fucking room. 90% of movies are done on green screen. Or excuse me, 90. That's the wrong number. I think it's 68% of content inside of movies is green screen. We're seeing that with TV shows now. They're starting to do that shit.
So, I'll give you a prime example. So, you all know I watch a lot of bullshit TV while I work, shit on CBS, All Access, and whatnot. One of the shows I got sucked into one day because it just came on and just started playing was a law show, All Rise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Rise.
my girl
Yes.
watches that.
So All Rise. So a lot of the CBS shows had to stop production. All of your NCISs had to stop production. SEAL Team had to stop production. SWAT, all these shows that they have going on right now, all had to stop production. All Rise, their last episode they did was done almost 100% via FaceTime, Skype, and what other video platform they could get, all about these people going through what life in quarantine was. And the way they twisted it and brought it into the storyline of the show was they did the first ever trial without a jury over a video call, having the person who was being tried waiving a whole ton of rights that you're allowed to have, being tried by a jury, all of these unprecedented changes. And granted, it's a drama, it's made for TV, it's all bullshit, we all understand that, but they figured out a way to create an episode very much the way we do this without sticking us in little graphical boxes with a beautiful background. It was just a Skype call like you're seeing right here on the TV. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Quibi is a short.
I know Quibi.
A short in production, basically.
10-minute episodes.
Right. Which everybody says all or not 10 minutes. They're somewhere between 7 to 10 minutes on average of a Quibi.
Are they preempted with commercials, or is it you get 7
minutes? Now
then...
that part I do not know about, but they're saying that the episodes are 7 to 10 minutes.
Bite-sized chunks.
Right. And it's a quick consumption of content based on the algorithms of the internet that they've deemed that this is your focus point.
Attention.
We've known that for since we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Chad told us that the average watcher of ESPN is 7 minutes.
Right.
Yep.
7 to 10 minutes.
Okay, but then we turn around and I fed y'all an article earlier today related to a company that is looking for quick, weekly, short-term content.
Yep.
And is willing to invest a lot of money into a weekly production of this content.
Live, unscripted television.
Okay.
I think we're going to see a shift, but getting back to Webb's point.
Well, that's an open door for like a new media comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like to set up a platform instead of doing what they had been doing with an Instagram, to take that short form and throw it into something on a Twitch. Short interactive productions.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I mean, they were looking to do it on Roku TV too. So, I mean, the platforms are there. It's, can you keep up with the amount of content you got to put out?
Well, I mean, it definitely becomes an issue at that point. But yeah, I don't know. When you talk about the scenarios, it's like certain things I'd be willing to move things around for.
See, with the movie industry, Ren, I don't think there's going to be any issues whatsoever. I mean, okay, yeah, post-production, yeah, you might see some rushed content, bad editing, shit like that. But we've got a year's worth of content sitting, waiting to hit movie theaters. Every
But they're also all getting to the point now that they're jumping on this bandwagon of
They make more money the other way. This is what they're liking. They're making more money for releasing at home.
the problem is you're releasing a movie at home. No, you're not making your concession, which they don't give a fuck about because they don't
No,
see
that's
that
why
anyway.
the movie theaters were pissed off. That's why the theaters were pissed off. They're like, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, you can't make more money without us. No, 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 no.
And they're like, we own the content. Sure,
We've been
can.
the middle.
We're
We've been the
licensing it to
middleman
you.
for so long. You can't leave us. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe we can. And this is a market that we weren't really looking at as a retail market the way we were thinking about when we talk about these places.
So we all brought up Disney, and the only reason why I'm going to bring Disney into this conversation is what occurred on Monday. So all along, Disney's plans to release Rise of Skywalker was October 25th of 2020.
Right, it was pushed up
on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to release the DVD, the Blu-ray, go through that whole life cycle of here's your content. You know, you want to buy the stupid I shouldn't buy this edition, go buy it. You want to buy the standard edition, go buy it. They decided in a brilliant fucking marketing move to drop the movie on May the 4th. When
Right.
Disney historically has always done something in the theme parks, revolving around May the 4th and Star Wars and all that. Like
Since they acquired the property.
with it. They've always been on board with it. Well, from talking to Joe, it's gone even longer than that. He's been a Disney guy going year over year, 2-3 times a year for as long as I've known him, which is almost a decade. And they've always been involved in it. So here you go. They're taking this movie, and why did they do it? Increase subscribership. And what does Disney do? Come out the next day and go, yeah, we've already reached the numbers that we told all our investors we would reach by the end of 2022.
Yeah, well, I unsubscribed because they did exactly what I told everybody else they were going to do and start tapering that fucking content back and start putting shit back in the fucking vault, not actually allowing you to have that ultimate access to Disney content that what they told you Disney Plus was. And you know what? Fuck them. I'm tired of lining those goddamn Disney pockets over their continuous bullshit.
Stock went up fucking massively today.
See, I don't have. I get your point, and I understand your point.
They lied. They lied. What they did, they lied. They lied right off the rip. And their mainline subscribers, the only thing that fucking saved them was fucking COVID. Because if they would have just kept pulling content and something like this wouldn't have pushed them into a position to be able to go, oh, just feed it to them raw.
Well, not only are they pulling content though, but no sooner did this whole quarantine happen, they took a movie that they literally just dropped 2 weeks before in the theater and gave it away to subscribers for free.
Yeah.
Which was Onward.
Oh yeah.
And
their business. Their business people are on point. I'm not saying that they ain't got a squad.
So as much as they may be taking
bags.
shit away,
they're dirt bags.
Yeah, but are you gonna come back from Mandalorian?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so. I think this whole turn of everything will make me leave Star Wars alone. I'm done with it.
See, I consume so much other content that
I can walk away with it. It doesn't bother me.
I mean, it's not just Disney to me. It's Hulu. I probably recently, just because of, I don't want to say I've watched everything on Netflix that I care to watch, but I've watched everything on Netflix I care to watch while I'm working.
My content is user created on a daily basis.
And has been for as long as I've known you, and we're two different viewers.
Yeah,
but
that's the weird thing for me. That's the weird thing for me because I like Netflix and I like TV and I like the Hulu, but I don't watch anything. Like I don't go and sit in front of that and do that. Like that's not how I spend my downtime. Like, it's just not what I do. Like, I consume content, a lot of content, on a regular basis, but it's not pre-produced.
Now, would
90%
you
of it
feel
anymore.
would you feel your content consumption is more game focused than?
Nope.
So you don't watch gamers stream games?
Oh, I watch gamers stream games, or I have gamers streaming games on maybe while I'm playing a game. But I'm even kind of out of that realm of thing now. I'm not even watching them. I'm watching like cooking shows and street food and shit like that on YouTube. Like, that is just like, oh, look, the video of this person doing this stuff. Like, it's not live content, or that's my pre-produced content, along with like a days long worth of video podcast.
Okay, go ahead, Webb.
All right. So what I really wanted to get to was the Universal AMC fight. Okay, because I don't think, maybe, I don't know. All right, this fight between them started with Avengers Endgame.
Yes, it did.
In case you didn't know that. They wanted Avengers, they wanted to move the theatrical release window for that.
Right.
And the movie theater said, no fucking way.
Right.
We get it for 90 days, and that's that. End of story. That's the way it's always been since 1940 whatever, and that's the way it's gonna be. Netflix turned around and said, well, we want to put The Irishman in the movie theaters because, we're getting fucked out of the Oscars. So they said, well, we'll give you the movie. We're going to stream it too, but we'll give it to you for 45 days. AMC said, no, fuck you. We ain't showing it. It's 90 days or it's nothing. Okay? Now the fight blows up completely between the two because of the Trolls movie, which they made $77 million on, by the way. They get 80% of the rental fee. The other 20% goes to the rental company, which is on demand or whatever it is at this point. The fight starts there. AMC turns around and says, fuck you. You released a movie that was supposed to be in our theaters. Now we won't release any of your shit in the United States, Europe, or the fucking Middle East.
Period.
Now, my point of all of this.
Fuck you. You're going home.
Yeah, right? We saw the same thing happen 20 fucking years ago, and it's happening again. The RIAA and the music industry fought tooth and nail to destroy and abolish something called digital music.
Question: have you put together a farmer's almanac for this type of shit to be able to have these kind of predictive weather patterns of exactly what we're seeing from 20 years ago?
I was.
I need to see the graph. I need to see the graph.
Want the graph? Would you like it small or pie chart? So what we're seeing, Ren, is a repeat of the music industry here. The movie industry, MPAA, and the authority board of theaters is now putting up that fight of, well, you can't do this because this is the way it's always been, as we are living in an ever-changing world, especially one where it comes to streaming content.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, Universal's game plan here was to do both. They want to do the whole Mark Cuban thing with 21 Magnolias movie company or whatever the fuck.
That's kind of a weird comparison to make right now, considering the fact that dude don't want to go nowhere.
Right, but what he was doing back then, okay, when he bought Magnolia Studios and the other company, which I think is 2112 or whatever the fuck it is, they were producing movies, putting them in a theater, and releasing them on their fucking channel the same day, HDNet.
Right.
Okay, he took a little flack for that, but it didn't matter because that wasn't pay-per-view.
Right.
Set. It was, I subscribed to that channel, DirecTV, which was one of the few places you could watch it. So you were just subscriber based and you paid that fucking $2 a month to watch that channel, and he wasn't really getting any money from that and didn't care, but it's something new. I'm going to try this. Nobody really batted an eye on it. Universal, who doesn't want to lose money. Does anybody want to lose fucking money with a backlog catalog of goddamn movies ready to roll into theaters? I mean, some of these movies could be what? $300 million movies?
Yeah, with the potential of much, much more in some cases when you're looking at, you know, Grammy nods, all the money that goes on outside of that, because there's a certain separation of where Hollywood money. You're told the money makes this much, but I mean the movie makes this much, but then you find out about all these other things that go on because of what transpired. Like this actor gets this because he'll go places and do charactership off of this, where he's getting his rights and the theater's getting their and the production company's getting their rights, where it's still money being made off the movie, but it's no longer having to be tagged to the movie. But there's millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that come from that later on that are paid in royalties.
Yeah. And think of this scenario, okay? So things start to ease up and we finally get movie theaters open, and probably you'll have 2 seats roped off in between, social distancing, limited view. How many fucking people are going to be able to see a movie when a theater that has, I don't know, what's our nice fucking cushy theater have? 200 seats max?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the theater.
You were in the digital theater with them big couches you can recline.
Yeah, but that's not take us out of the equation and put in the general public that go watch a regular digital non 3D. You're probably fitting 500 to 750 in that theater.
If they even still fucking exist, maybe in Iowa.
They still exist here. You go to theaters around here. You can go to a big auditorium, and I don't go to 3D movies, so I see.
I'm not talking 3D. I'm just talking a nice, cushy, comfy, fucking. Here's your recliner that you can sit in. There's only fucking 12 seats in a row. This theater is this fucking big. It's only got 2 sections. All the new theaters are like that. You're talking about an antiquated theater.
I'm talking like a regular digital theater that you go in, and I still think there are theaters out there with all the amenities you're talking about that seat 300 to 500 people.
If it's a movie theater that, has 2 screens, you go into one of these fucking megaplexes with 20 movie theaters, dude, it's like 250 people max. Now you're going to cut that down by what? At least 25%.
50%.
Okay, well, at least 25% you're going to lose.
It's going to start 50%, and as things, theoretically get better, then it'll go to 40%.
A lot of places are only scheduled to be opening up with 25% capacity. So my point here is, how many people are going to go? Well, the movie theater's open. Let's go. How many people are going to turn around and go, "What are you fucking out of your mind?"
It's going to be a lot of those.
Yeah, why am I going to go into a movie theater to do what?
Well, just look around the world. Look at Germany. Germany reopened.
Do you want to sit for 2 hours with a mask on?
Germany reopened, and malls and restaurants and bars and everything else were ghost towns.
How long do you wear your mask? How long do you think you can wear it? You get in your car, you drive somewhere, you laugh at everybody else driving around with a mask on. What are you, fucking stupid? You're in the car by yourself. And you are stupid if you're in the car by yourself wearing a mask. You're just stupid. You pull up to the fucking store, grocery store, whatever the fuck it is. You pop your mask on and you go in. If it's a deli, you're in there for 3 minutes. You get back in your car and the first thing you fucking do is take that mask off.
My mask doesn't even make it to the car.
Okay.
My mask goes on before I open the door. It comes on as soon as I walk out the door.
You're one of those assholes driving around with a mask on.
No.
Yourself.
No. My mask goes on no sooner do I open the door to walk into an establishment.
Oh, right.
And comes off no sooner do I walk out the doors of said establishment.
Right. As soon as I pull up in front of the deli.
I've found an acceptable use for the mask while driving.
Yeah.
And a logical explanation on why you would see somebody driving with it.
Keep your neck warm. Why? What?
Um, Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates,
Well,
Uber
yes, of
Eats.
course.
Those
Sure.
people are delivering items from point A to
Yes.
point B.
Right.
And any delivery service driver of any of those products isn't a marked vehicle. They're just people that you see driving around with masks on.
Not the guy in his fucking Toyota Corolla that zips by the house. And
Well, I mean,
I
yes, essentially, yes,
yeah.
he would be. No, now I'm not denying the fact that there are some of those just absurd people,
Yes.
but at the same time, I don't want to throw the bunch of absurd people. I don't want to
Well, no, you're right.
call a large
Yeah.
majority of anybody this because I was like, I was on board with Webb when we first started talking about this conversation. I was like, yeah, fucking idiots riding around with their goddamn mask on all the fucking time. And I
You
was
do
like,
bring up
and I was like, oh no. I was like, no, I want this motherfucker riding around with his goddamn mask on.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't want
you
him.
make
I
a
don't want him in a car. I don't want him in a car with my stuff. If this is the image that I'm being given, I don't want. If he's got an Uber sign in his window or a fucking Postmates sticker somewhere on his car, he doesn't
Right.
have to be branded. But a lot of them have marks on things that just be like, "Oh, I support the group that I work with." Da da da, type shit. So,
I get you. Yeah.
I
No,
want that. I want those people wearing masks.
so,
I
no,
I want my package delivery guy, my Amazon guy, my FedEx guy. Like if that's the going to be the socially accepted norm of what needs to be happening moving forward, then yeah, I think the in the car from point A to point B is relevant for those people who are supposed to be delivering things.
Now, when you go into the grocery store, Ren, which is a good, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Depending on what I gotta buy, I'd say anywhere between
Yeah.
30 and an hour.
Okay. How many times you fucking mask?
I don't.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Now,
annoying, but it's an accepted annoyance, though. Like, you're making it an issue because you want to have a problem with something on your face.
well,
Like,
no,
at that
no.
point, like, there is a level of acceptance that, like, the people can just make. If they're having to wear it and it's sensible to wear it, then they're making the acceptance to just go with it. If it's a problem for you and you can't get over the fact that you're having to fucking wear it and you, like, have core issues with the reason of having it on, yeah, it's always going to be an annoyance to you.
Yeah. After 10 minutes, it becomes annoying. I mean, you deal with it, obviously. I mean, I do. You deal with it. You got to deal with it. But my point here is keeping all that in mind. Are you going to sit in a movie theater for 2 hours and 32 minutes with a mask on watching a movie?
Well, there's popcorn that you would want to eat. There's drinks that, like, there's the concessions part that would be lovely, and that's what makes this new revolution of how they're releasing things like kind of a whole lot easier to do, and they're making more money off of it. So I don't.
And yes, that is exactly where I wanted to go next. Trolls, which was released, which is what started this controversy, a stupid fucking animated movie that drew in 100 million and made 77 for fucking Universal, was $19.99 to rent.
For a household.
Now you're bringing up a topic of conversation
Not to buy.
that I've had with both Lola. I've had this conversation with Joe,
Uh-huh.
where both of their standings are: you would go to the movies and you would pay $50 to $60.
Oh yeah,
Buying the ticket,
a family got off cheap.
buying the ticket, buying candy, popcorn, drinks.
I mean,
the whole 9 yards. You're $100 in. They're like, so what's the big deal with spending $20? Now, my opinion is, I can go rent any movie after it's left the theater.
Yeah.
For $3.99 to $5.99.
Yeah.
As cheap as $1.99 to $2.99.
Sure.
But now you're sitting here and telling me, well, if I want to watch 1917 because it was an Oscar award-winning movie, I got to pay you $20.
No.
Amazon, Apple, anybody else who's got a Redbox,
We're talking about future release now. Instead of going to a theater, it's released.
I would pay $20 for a future release, something that's already been dropped, that's already been out, that had its run in the theater, and it's now that's not in its time window to be
excluded from the conversation completely.
Yeah, we weren't even talking about previously released movies. We're talking about fresh Hollywood from the fucking presses to your TV.
For that.
Yeah, the family gets off cheap as fuck. Like I said, even if you go to the store or order from Amazon or whatever media process you order your food from, however you acquire your sustenance for that movie, you're still probably getting out cheaper than a night at the fucking movies.
Yep.
Because the overhead of the theater and their employees and AMC and this other company that's been the middleman for so long is irrelevant. And it's exactly the whole conversation we've been having about retail services in the retail spaces and what type of equity do they have when we learn that we can do everything from fucking home.
It's all fucking massively valid points.
Yeah, it hurts, man. And it's going to be weirdly spread out because there's certain jobs that people are going to fight really hard not to lose. There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of people talking about, I need this, I need to have that, I need to have this, I need to have that. And then we're going to find out what essential personnel really means when we talk about who essentially needs to go to a building and do their job.
I just find this very interesting because it's a shift in a business model that we've seen before, that was also fought tooth and nail and made it all the way to fucking Congress. Okay, made it all the way to Congress. MP3s were debated on the Congress fucking floor.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing the exact same thing starting to happen with the movie industry.
Right.
I personally see nothing wrong with a theatrical/home release. This is something we have talked about, Ren, many fucking times, and it is a brilliant idea. So what? So maybe I go to the movie theater to see it, and then fuck, I want to watch that again. Oh, dude, if we rent this, we can have it for the weekend for $20. We can watch it 3 times if we want.
72 hours to get to watch it.
3 days. It's what just see. Yep, exactly.
Now you can hold on to it depending on platform. I think Amazon is 30 days. Apple TV is either 30 or 45 days. You can rent it, but no sooner do you click play, 72 hours.
Right. You're time bombed there. It's the same thing with cable. If you go to your
DirecTV or any of them, most of them it's time gated off of the moment you go to view it.
Mm-hmm.
You can hold the content for a certain number of days, and then once you press play on it the first time, you are time gated for your allotted watching window. Whether you watch the whole thing, whether you watch it 16 times, this is now your window.
What up, Sutter? Yeah, I mean, I think what we're seeing is a shift in paradigm here.
Sup, asshole?
And well, he can come into the right chat. I know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, Universal is definitely going to be hurting with the notion of, AMC not. That's 1,000 fucking theaters. It's 1,000 theaters.
If they honestly end up reopening in any kind of level that makes a difference. Like, if they open with social distancing and shit doesn't go quite right, guess what? Social distancing becomes the norm. Oh, wait, no. Staying at home becomes the norm. In some weird, fucked up way. Because all of a sudden, people just really start fucking dying. Like, say it doesn't go right. Well, then, all right, so they're not wrong for doing exactly what they're doing. They're making a preemptive strike based on the current trends of what they're seeing. And AMC, you can buck up all you want to, but if this shit, you're making a big gamble right now, puffing your chest out and thinking you're the end-all, be-all.
Right.
Because guess what, motherfucker? What if people don't ever come back to movie theaters? What if that actually fucking happens? What are you
Well,
And I would
what are
say,
you gonna do then with your big balls?
I would honestly say that statement is more valid than it's not right now.
well, here's the caveat twist to that, and I agree with both. I agree with you.
Well,
Okay, what if?
they're it's
Yeah,
just a perspective. And
but
yes, I'll stand behind it as my own, but at the same time it's also just a perspective. Like if that was the scenario and I was the guy making decisions at this point, I don't give a fuck about you, AMC. All you're
see,
doing right now is standing up like a peacock and floating your fucking feathers around. It doesn't mean nothing to me because right now you can't even put an ass in a seat. You have no ground to stand on. And what I'm seeing right now currently says that I don't have to worry about you putting asses in seats for a little bit longer.
I guess. All right, so you boycott the theaters, and you're not going to the theater. There's going to be some movies that are going to be theatrical release only.
Oh, yeah? Who's going to pay all of that overhead to get something into a theater?
I can tell you two movies right off the bat that will not be.
Okay, tell me those two movies.
Okay, two movies flat off the bat that will not be PVOD, pay to video on demand, is going to be No Time to Die, the next Bond movie, which is ready to roll, and
Okay.
F9, Fast and the Furious 9. There ain't no way they're going to PVOD that.
If any of their studios are not releasing movies to theaters, yes, that's exactly what they'll do. They
Those
won't
movies are
not release the movies. I'll tell you that part.
I'll tell you what.
James Bond
If the people,
fall.
if the people behind the marketing of these movies,
Yeah.
I think
now,
you're right there, Brian.
first of all, it's a twofold conversation. When are these movies due to be released?
Yeah.
And
Right.
What's the
taking
state of
in the
society
data,
then?
so exactly taking in the data of what's occurring at that point in time. So if Bond is due to be released in June, early June, the marketing people might be like, we're going straight to a video platform. Let's go make a deal with whomever.
We got Murder Hornets in June. I'm not really excited
Let's go
about
make a
that part
deal
of
with
it.
Apple to sell it on Apple, and we'll make a deal with Amazon to sell it on Amazon, and we'll make a deal with Hulu to sell it as a add-on Hulu. We'll
Nobody's
charge
buying that.
$19.99. Hold on, we'll charge $19.99 for it, and we'll make a lion's ransom off it.
No, you
We
won't.
don't care about your theater. You don't
That's the
care
thing.
about the theater.
They'll make more money on a theatrical release than they would on home. They definitely.
Only if the
Not in the
theaters are
current state of
allowed
society.
to do that. You're making a speculative prediction on people gathering in crowds like they used to in spaces that they used to gather.
And we're making the argument of you're going to make more money at this point in time of releasing it as a home release on whatever streaming platform is willing to charge $19.99 or $24.99 for it than you are going to drop it in a theater where you can only have 25% capacity.
Well, I get that. I totally get
You
that.
know,
Yeah,
you got
that's
a
just
theater
two
that
sides
can-
of the coin.
A theater that has 100 seats, you can put 25 people in the theater. You're making, on average, if they go to a matinee, $8. The theater's taking some, you're making $3 off a showing. If you take it on a video platform and drop it on the same day and you charge $19.99 for it, and Amazon and Apple and whomever else take 30% off the top for their hosting fee or whatever else, they're taking 10% would be $2 for $6. You're taking home $14 per rental of this movie, and within an hour's time, you've eclipsed every theater in the United States at 25% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So
And-
you're already making more money from the jump. Now, if this is a November, December release and the world is back to the way it was and people aren't fucking scared and are willing to go sit in a sold out movie theater to go spend 2 hours of their own personal time and spend $100 for two people to go see a movie,
Well,
that's a different story.
The average group of people who go to a movie is usually 4.
I can only speak from my experience of my son and I going, or my girlfriend and I going, or you and I going.
Right.
That's all I can speak to.
But now you're at 3. The girlfriend, you,
and the boy.
Wonder. That's 3. Me, okay, I'm still at 2. There was many times when it was always 4, and then, hey, Ren, you want to go check a movie? Okay, you don't, you do, you don't.
5.
Good, it's 5. So the average is 4. The family of 4.
Okay, $200.
$200. Okay. The movie tickets, $8 of the movie ticket goes to the fucking movie company, and it's a sliding scale. Let's remember that. When a blockbuster movie, when Avengers hits the movie theater, they're not taking $8 on day 1. We're taking a sliding scale, 90% on day 1. That's it. We get 90%, or you don't have to show our fucking movie because there's going to be 10,000 other theaters that are going to show it. If you want to be the one that doesn't, be that dick. It's a sliding scale.
I would definitely say that is part of the negotiation process.
You're feeding my point now. You're feeding my point now. By day 1, we know all of these streaming companies take 30% off the top.
Okay, here's your average for a theatrical release, 90 days. 90-day theatrical release. The average sliding scale works out to be 60% to the movie company, 40% to the theater. Just on a ticket sale. Now we know ticket sales, it can be anywhere between $10 to fucking $16, depending on what theater you go to.
Right,
and
$20 depending on what theater you go to.
Right, and I'm sitting here saying you're going to get 70% for the life of the movie on a streaming platform.
You're going to get a one-time purchase for a household. You're losing money. Whether you charge $20, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, but it's a volume play at that point. You got people that can't go to a theater and spend $100 for their family to go see a movie, but they're willing to drop $20 for their family to sit on the couch as a family and watch a movie.
Yeah, I was going to say it opens the audience of
you're
people
playing a volume game.
Yeah, you're doing it's the Netflix model. Essentially, why do you need to go anywhere to see things when we're giving you all this content right here, and it's only costing you this much, and they get the subscriber base that is unsurmountable. And then that's the same essential thing that Hollywood is like, holy shit, well, we can turn around and just put our movies on TV, take the money directly into our respective studios with whatever contract that we get, and we don't have to worry about
here's my question.
External distribution.
Think about it here.
Go ahead.
You've got... Take a blockbuster movie like...
John's coming in.
Avengers Endgame, right?
Right, game.
Avengers Endgame was the largest grossing movie of all time to this point in time in theaters.
$1 on day 1 or some
stupid fucking money, right?
Yeah.
So you take a movie like Avengers Endgame and you drop it for $24.99.
No one's buying
on a streaming platform.
Yeah.
As a rental. Because this is the world we live in now. We don't live in an outside world now. We live in a quarantined world. Think about, you would probably reach those numbers and then some within 1 week's time.
No, I don't think so. Because at that price model, you priced yourself out. You price yourself out for a one-time purchase. Because you know what? I will hang on for 3 months and spend.
I'm not talking about it as purchase to own. I'm talking about it as a rental.
Right. That's just what I'm saying. You just at $24.99. You just priced yourself out of the market because
for a movie that.
Let me finish my statement. For $24.99, I will wait 3 months and buy it on fucking Blu-ray, and then I can watch it 1,000,000 times. I am not paying $25 to watch a movie once or twice or in a 72-hour period. The biggest problem with this conversation is we're talking blockbusters, and the only data we have to fall back on is a fucking animated piece of shit movie called Trolls, which anybody and everybody who has a kid was going to fucking buy.
How would it have done in theaters, though?
probably shitty. Would you go take your 6-year-old to see Trolls in a theater?
My kid were into Trolls, yeah, probably.
If they were into Trolls, I mean, who the
Yeah, that's
don't
it.
know.
You're kind of
We
throwing.
can't talk
You're
that.
kind of throwing this weird, like
it's
I don't
tough-
know about the other side of this coin approach to it, and it's
tough debate though. It's not a
no,
matter
it's
of
not a tough debate. And look, I don't even have kids, and it's not a tough debate. That if
Well,
I had kids and they were about this, the reason this made so much money is because all of these people were at home with their kids and they all bought it. And those same people all may not have actually went out to the theaters and saw it.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Like I said,
That
it's
is the point.
That is the whole point that Ren's been arguing the whole time.
Look, it's a tough conversation because we're talking about an animated bullshit movie.
Yeah, but
Not-
we're talking the
So
light.
put
No,
it
we
in
were talking
correlation to
economic.
Bob.
We were
Can't.
talking solid economics. We're not talking about the bullshit part of it. We're talking about the family dynamic and the economics of people who would be willing to pay to go to the movie theater versus the willingness of people if it was right there on their screen at home.
And they're saving $80 to $180.
Yeah, if they're saving all this fucking money, that would be willing to pay the fucking money.
It's
They
a
make
volume
it. They
game.
make it up
but-
on the other
But you're
side.
missing the one point, though. You're missing one point.
What's
in
the
whole
point
thing.
that I'm gonna go to a
Hold on,
theater
no.
and
This
watch
is
a
a
movie
guy
for
who's
2
highly.
hours?
This is a guy who's highly involved in the business currently, as it is.
There's many ways to look at this, right? Many ways to look at all the different angles. But you're looking at like how good Trolls did in an environment where nobody was allowed to go out.
Right.
So-
and the first
but wait a
Trolls
minute.
movie, go ahead.
But what you're not taking into account is, the idea of the movie theater. Yes, I agree with you, Ren, that you're going to have a bunch of people that say, I would rather watch it at home, save the money, so on and so forth. You'll have a wider range, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the whole thing about the movie theater is community. About going out, about it's dates, it's an experience for the kids. Look at how many movies have come back and been on big screen that we've seen a bunch of times on big screen already, and they're still doing, not like Blockbuster, but they're still doing good repeats on the big screen. So,
They are, and they did is two different statements. We live in a different
Yeah,
world now.
we're talking about
hold
the
on.
direct effect of COVID as part
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
conversation.
Let me
Like,
just,
I know,
are people ever going to be comfortable going and communing in a packed 200-seat theater
Yeah, that's
for
the-
2
we're
hours
future
of their
forward.
life?
Yeah, we're future forward
Again.
on this.
That's the question.
okay, yeah. And the question is that's the same question that you're going to have to ask about restaurants, about sporting arenas,
Yeah.
absolutely.
about
Absolutely.
every scenario.
No, yeah, we're not denying
so-
that at all. This is just a finite point that we're kind of debating currently.
Here's
So
some.
So the first thing you have to debate, though, in this question, the first thing that you're going to have to debate is how long and what's the end result to COVID. Are we going to live with COVID the way we're living now with this same?
Well, that's why we were asking. That's why we were asking about the timeline.
Potentially 2 years.
Hold on. That's why we asked the timeline of these movie releases. It was one of the first questions that we asked. When are
Okay.
these coming out? Because we know the world now versus maybe the world in a couple months may be very different. And we don't know what that is. So anything to predict outside of that we know is very speculative. But we know if it's one coming out in June or if it's one coming out in July, that world is very restricted still in like 900% of your market.
I think that a movie studio would be idiotic to not release it online anytime in the next 6 months.
Thank
That's
you.
my point.
I mean,
Regardless of movie, regardless of how much of a blockbuster you want it to be, you're going to make more money at home than you are dropping it in a theater of 25% capacity.
If you're looking
yeah.
at the current climate,
Well,
you are
I
not
would
worrying
agree.
about an AMC.
And that was my point. Like, taking a Bond movie or a Thor Ragnarok or whatever the other movie that you mentioned that I can't remember, Webb.
Fast and Furious 9, F9.
Fast and Furious 9. Any one of those movies, you're going to make more money at home. Like, I'm an individual that would not spend the money to go see Fast 9 in a theater. I'd rather wait for it to come out on HBO, Netflix.
Right.
Go rent a DVD, even though I don't rent DVDs anymore. Just that argumentative point. But if you dropped it day one at home and I could rent it for $19.99, $14.99,
I'd pay the $20 to do it.
$19.99 to begin with.
Yep.
I have a huge problem with. I understand you got to make your money back. I have a hard time when historically renting movies on a digital platform has always been $2.99 to $5.99, and now you're gonna sit here and shove down my throat. Oh, I want to see this movie, Parasite, 1917, Ford versus Ferrari, Bombshell. Any of these movies that were already out had their theater runs in October, November, December, and you want to charge me $20 now? I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I have a problem with that
Something
portion of
new?
it. I have a problem with
Maybe
that
not.
portion of it, but if it's direct from theater, like direct theater release, is
I'm okay
unable
with
to
that.
go to a theater,
I
and
think.
this is the way that you're giving me the content, then I accept that. But
I think I could convince
I'm not. I
myself.
don't want the stagger.
I think I would be more hypercritical of the film than I would be going to a theater, spending 6 times that amount of money with my kid and going, wow, go to John's point. I had the whole experience. My kid and I went out. We sat in a theater. We had community. We had all of these people surrounding us that are all into the same thing that we're into. And there's that whole experience that goes along with it. And you might not be as critical of said film than I'm sitting on my couch watching a film that I just dropped $20 for.
That
I
mob
think
mentality.
I might be a little bit more critical of said movie because I lacked all of those
Outside
sociological
influences.
aspects
Yep.
that go
All
on.
of that all of the outside influence that came into a that mob
Or you hear
mentality that everybody does it. That
Oh my
that could
God.
be some make or break type shit with
Webb,
some of those films where
For an example, Iron Man died. That entire theater, you heard it, you felt it,
Yeah,
you felt everyone around you
Sure.
at
gonna
that
lose-
moment in time. You're not going to get that at home.
You're gonna lose that
You're
experience.
going to have you
like
and whoever
it's like
you're watching it.
Day.
well, you're losing that part of the experience, the communal part of the experience, that mob mentality. You're missing that. But I will say that
You're Waddle, thank you.
I haven't. Well, no, I haven't missed those. Holy shit! Or that hurts my heart. Or like those moments, they're not lost on me because I don't go to a movie theater. Those moments aren't really. If the cinematic production is worthy of the value there, if all of the nuances come into play, you're not losing that with a film. And maybe you would be a little bit more analytical being at home. But music for me sometimes, even if I truly enjoy it, can bring a tear to your eye. And you don't have to be at the concert to go and live that. Everybody doesn't have to be crying around you for that moment. You can listen to something individually and still have that same experience. I don't think it loses that moment. But I think it's that
concert and 80 fucking or 60,000 people are crying with you at the same time.
Yeah, but that's a community experience that we may lose during this moment more than it is like arguing amongst the money people. Like that, I think those conversations are pretty independent. The money people right now definitely could make more money just putting it on the TV. Like the money people are very well capable of doing that part of it.
But speaking about money, right? Depending on how long this goes on, I mean, like, do you really think that people are not going to start running out of money and say, "Oh, I think more like Webboy. Yeah, I know I got to pay $20 today, but you know what? I don't have $20 today, but I know in a month or two I can watch it for $5."
Yeah, but hold on. The thing is, though, is do you know in a month or two whether or not you're even going to have those $5? Because not for anything, me and Webb at least got to a point in the podcast today that we heard a really solid phrase. And without people making stuff, you need to remember, eventually there's not going to be any more fucking stuff.
That was kind of my point of my Facebook post today also. I wish Ren was back here. I don't want to. Okay,
Trolls. Wait till he comes back.
Trolls is probably. No, I don't want to take a break. Trolls is probably a bad example because it's a sequel to a children's movie that I guess you could say technically was a blockbuster. The original Trolls movie.
Original Trolls was, and not for anything, this one looked really exciting.
And plus, it's Justin Timberlake's in it. The original Trolls movie did $153.7 million in the United States and Canada. Now, I'm only using those numbers. If you want to know what it grossed worldwide, it was $346.8 million. But I'm only giving you the let's talk about the the United States number, 153.7, because that's the number we know from VOD on Trolls World Tour. We only have United States numbers. We don't have any other world numbers. We
know that the U.S. market is actually a small dip in the bucket anyway for most of these Grand Slam movies. The international market, specifically China and Japan, tend to be the higher grossing markets for most of these blockbuster films.
Yeah. It's U.S., Europe, and Middle East are the three biggie. China falls in right behind that, or the Asian continent falls in right behind that. Again, Trolls is a bad example because it's a sequel to a movie like the Bond movie. That would be great if they dropped that on VOD to see what would happen, because it's not a sequel of anything. It is just another story in the Bond. Fast Furious 9 is going to be a bad example if they were to drop that on VOD.
Right, because it's just another story.
I don't know. You don't think there's that many diehard Bond fans?
Oh, no, there are that many diehard Bond fans. There are that many diehard Fast and the Furious fans.
Yeah, I am one. Fast and the Furious is a huge fucking franchise. It's absolutely huge. It's the numbers behind that movie are fucking staggering. That is one reason why that movie and the Bond movie are not going to VOD.
Well, that's according to the current predictions as of Web.
Well, they've already pushed the movie to fucking November and December. That's it. That's it. It's going in the theater.
Well, no, that's their timeline right now that they're willing to wait to be able to get it into theaters because they would like to still have that deal in place because they like that other kickback that I'm sure they get from AMC and these other theater houses in order to run their movies. Now, plain and simple, though, Webb, and you can't argue the logic with the fact that if it goes on to a point where crowds can't gather in those areas,
that is a kicker.
They're not going to hold on to that fucking release and let everybody forget about Fast and the Furious. Especially not when they're going to be trying to earn the money to see if they can do it again.
Right. I'm gonna drop this into Slack. It's future reading. It's all about.
Oh yeah, that's just like mine right there. Fucking July's threat.
What?
Oh, man, bear, pig. He's half man, half bear, half pig, and it's super fucking cereal.
But unfortunately, Trolls is a bad example because it is a sequel. It did well, the first one, 380 million worldwide, and like I said, 150, 170, 190 million in the United States. Those are the numbers we really need to look at because the VOD numbers are only from the United States. So it's kind of like a bad example, but there's going to be movies that they're not going to hit the theater. They're not. Universal is not putting not the theater. They're not going to hit VOD. Universal is not going to put the Bond movie on VOD. It's not happening. They already said it.
And they're going to lose their shirt.
No, they're not. They're going to wait. They've already pushed the movie back to November.
Right now, they're waiting.
Right. Well, yes. Right now, they're waiting. Yes. Could it change? Yes, it could. Obviously.
Right, and that's just that's where we're all speaking from right now. Is the idea of it currently is you're seeing one team make a push, and they're going, all right, we can wait. And you've seen another team go, no, fuck that. Watch what we do. And we're going to go ahead and throw it out here right now and see what that does. And not for anything, it stuck hard enough that maybe it made more money because they did their gamble and decided to do what they did when they did.
Well,
Webb, this goes back to what you said earlier. Like, how long do you sit and wear a mask?
Right.
So now you're expecting someone, Bond movie, movies like of this caliber have historically been running 2 to 20.
It's 2
so
and a half. You know that. You're going to sit for fucking commercials. You're going to sit for fucking previews. If you're like...
So at this point in time, a runtime of 220...
Yeah.
A runtime of 220, you're sitting for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's more like 245 because you got to deal with going through the credits.
Okay, but still, 3 hours with a mask on in a theater where you're not even allowed to sit next to anybody.
Fuck that shit. I ain't wearing a mask. Suck a dick. Fuck that. There's no way I'm sitting anywhere for 3 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
so you and everyone else who feels the way you feel are not going to be allowed in the theater because it's going to be a very strict rule of no mask, no service.
Really, that's not a rule or a law anywhere, by the way.
Actually, a company has the right to reserve their services to people they see fit. And if a corporate policy is initiated anywhere along the lines where a company requires in the
yeah,
what?
It's already being debated.
What do you mean?
It's the fact of having to walk into a store with
a
mask.
we know it's already being debated. We everybody saw a state open up requiring mask and 3 hours later redact that. We know the debate is occurring. Like you're just arguing facts at this point. Like, yeah, we know the debate's happening. We're still having it. That's what we're doing right now. You saying that we're having this debate is kind of redundant.
I was commenting to Ren, there is no fucking law. You can walk into a store without a mask on. Yes, they can try and throw you out.
Well, they can actually tell you to. They can tell you to leave. It's a business's obligation to do that.
No, that's not true.
It happened the other day at Aldi's. I watched it happen. But go ahead, John.
I believe that you have to wear a mask inside of stores at this point.
Home Depot in North Carolina makes you wear a mask and stand in line because capacity inside the building is regulated strictly. Well under fire code, they are told that they can only have so many people within their facility, so they have people standing outside going, "You can't go in yet."
As of April 8th, in the state of New Jersey, Governor Murphy signed an executive order stating all people should wear masks walking into any store. So it is a law.
Yeah, it's an executive order. No, it's a mandate.
An executive order, it's a law.
Yeah.
Executive order is not a law.
It's a mandate.
Laws cannot be redacted. Once they're written in stone, they're there forever.
Well,
it's not a law.
There can be amendments made to
not
those.
A law,
it's
you
not
excited for it. Some dude
not applying to an executive order you can be prosecuted for.
Yeah, you can get
I
in
was
trouble.
gonna say
there was a guy. There was somebody this weekend that was in ShopRite, took off their not ShopRite, but one of those stores, took off their mask, got into an argument with the person in front of them, coughed on them, and got arrested out of the store.
Well,
for terroristic threats.
Right, because he coughed on him. That's
Webb, your favorite town that you've been trouncing on for 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks now, Lakewood, is taking the same line that you're taking. Well, it's not a law. I can do whatever I want. And you're sitting here going, well, they're just stupid. But on the flip side of the coin, you're saying, well, it's okay. I'm not going to do it. So which is it?
Masks and face coverings are recommended, but are not required for Americans. There are 7 states that have mandated it.
Okay, given that type of judgment, it brings up a shooting in Georgia that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
So making these kind of amendments and leaving it to social justice, I don't think is necessarily the path that we want to go down right now.
New York, it's fucking an executive order mandated. You will be thrown the fuck out of Jersey. New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut are 4 of the 7 states out of 57 where it is fucking required, period.
So you're telling me you're going to go to a theater and not wear a mask because you don't feel like it for 3 hours?
Yeah, absolutely.
With plenty
Even though
of
it's
spunk lube,
mandated by law.
I think you have a different issue with the masks in the theater. I think everybody's going to walk into the theater and they're going to go in there and they're going to sit down with the mask on, and as soon as the lights go down,
every mask is coming off.
Those masks are coming off. So
that's right.
Well, that's exactly what I told Webb when he first made the argument for going to the theater. I'm like, society-wise, we all trust, even in a low-capacity setting, that mask in a theater is never going to work. We accept that. We also, that was our argument for the fact that it's easier for them to deal with it at home. Because why the fuck would you go to a theater? Because, yes, Webb may trust Digger and Sutter and Ren and me and you, but he's not going to trust going to a theater and fucking being in a room full of... The first person that coughs in that motherfucker, even Webb's going to turn around and be like, get the fuck out.
By the way, New Jersey was the first state to require period masks.
Yo, did you see the new period workout pants?
Yes.
Did you see the photo?
I didn't see. Where'd you? No, I did not see the photo.
All right, I'll have to go searching for it again so I can hand it over to you. But dude, you said period. I was like, oh.
If you remember, it wasn't too long ago that I had that whole fucking thing going on Facebook about the period panties.
Yeah, well, this is a set of period workout pants. They are a pure white set of leggings, like Danica Patrick has made so famous.
In Pennsylvania, you don't have to wear a mask. If you're an essential employee, you have to wear a mask.
Currently.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, where's our guy from? Our new guy. Y'all seen our new guy, our new social pariah guy, right? The Jesus wielding motherfucker from I can't remember what state. He's
the name you're not to forget. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cover my face because that would be disgracing God.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me, right?
No, I wish I was. I wish it was, John. I do. I really wish it was.
Talking to the Reverend here.
The only thing you can cover in the name of the Lord is your top of your head.
Look, all I'm saying. But this guy wasn't a Jewish guy. This guy was like a certain type of Christian guy. I can't remember what type of Christian he was. But he said literally he was like when you talk about we were created in God's image, it's not about being the color of your skin. It's about the facial identity. Your face is just another representation. Every person's face is just another representation of creation in God's image, and you can't deface that in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not going to wear a mask. And he is a political representative for his state.
That is so ridiculous. It's not even funny.
In Connecticut, you don't have to wear a mask. And if anybody
that may be where the guy's from. Hold on.
If anybody says to you, why aren't you wearing a mask? There's nothing they can do about it. You don't even have to show proof medically that you can't wear a mask. It's simply fuck you. It's only 7 states. That's it. Hawaii, $5,000 fine if you're not wearing a mask. They've taken it that far. What's Maryland? Maryland's another one. Oh, Maryland. No, you got to anybody over the age of 9, and you're inside of an essential establishment, you should wear a mask.
You should wear a mask, or you have to.
No, you should. You should. But only if you're in an essential business.
Ohio State Representative Nino Vitale.
Vitale, right? Yeah. Yeah. Also, if you're on public transportation, it's recommended that you wear a mask in all 50 states, period. It's recommended.
Because a mask is a weapon, or not having a mask is a weapon.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but that dude who walked into a fucking ShopRite, wherever the fuck he was, wearing a KKK mask, that was brilliant. Yeah, okay, that's his face. Yeah.
Yep.
That's our guy. That's Mr. Nino Vitale.
Oh, and by the way, in Pennsylvania, Ren, if you work in an essential business, they have to supply you the mask.
Yeah, it's true.
That should be any business, to be honest with you.
By law, they have to. Pennsylvania Department of Health. You want to go to work, the employer must supply that mask.
It's Pennsylvania. What do you expect?
Well, yeah, and I know they're ass backwards.
I was like, they're union.
Yeah, they're
they're not ass backwards. They're union.
It's as blue as blue gets.
Yeah, and here's one of the fucking states that's actually proactive here.
I kind of got mad. I kind of got mad respect for the idea of, like, I kind of would appreciate unions making a full, real strong comeback in the United States. It would be great.
I don't know about that. The District of Columbia has fucked us and themselves over 1 billion times because they always turn around and go, well, we're a union. We're not a state. The District of Columbia has figured out a way to bankrupt their banks how many fucking times now?
I don't know, but they've also figured out how to put more people out of work than the unions ever did. So,
well, then you don't want my opinion because I think unions should be abolished.
Well, I don't doubt that.
Yeah,
I've also tried to have you fitted for a yarmulke a couple times, but
yeah, but you know what the problem with unions is, right? It's the age-old story of taking something that's bad, trying to make it better, and then taking it to the extreme.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's just
if
like communism.
Take unions to an extreme, then unions would be a good thing.
Well, it's just like communism. Communism's a good idea until you exceed 40 people.
Yeah.
Like after that, like communism goes out the window. It doesn't work with any larger group than that. Like if you wanted to make several bazillion small communist states around everywhere, then sure, fine. Go for it. That's the only way a communist regime will ever truly work.
That is a good point. It is definitely a good point. I'd be curious to see how all of this video on demand plays out in the next 6 months. You know, I think for Universal, this was kind of like a test of how, let's see what happens. Can we push this? Are other corporations going to get on board and make this as big as the radio thing, MP3 thing of 1998? Is it possible? Maybe.
I'm just saying the theaters don't have a leg to stand on right now because they're betting on the world reopening.
Well, yeah, but they do because there's such thing as called the Oscars.
Actually, no. This is where the Netflix debate comes in. Yeah, this is the flip of that coin.
Didn't they already say for this season that they're going to let it pass?
This is
because of COVID.
This is if you can't beat them, join them moment. And I think the theaters lost to an online presence because of COVID. Because of COVID. I won't say that they would have lost in any other way. They had a stranglehold. They had it good. And there's no way in hell they ever would have lost. But I think Corona might have had a little bit of tipping of the hat and said, oh, yeah? Put people in their fucking house. Find out.
Yeah. And yes, John, they have pushed back all of their amendments and all their laws for this upcoming 2021.
Oh, that means Netflix is re-eligible for Oscars.
Yeah, everything. I mean, Apple TV, everybody's going to be eligible, and you don't need the theatrical release.
Oh,
But the
how crazy is that world come Oscar time
well,
when
see this.
certain platforms have the movie?
Uh-huh. I'm waiting. Where's Miramax? Where are all these other Lionsgate? You got to remember, Lionsgate was the one who
Yeah, but if that
distributed
world
and
if that
signed
world
off on
plays
The
out
Irishman.
if that world plays out completely though, Webb,
Yeah.
where's AMC? Nowhere.
I think most theaters are going to be hurting across the board, nationwide, worldwide.
Worldwide, because AMC is not just a pure U.S. cinematic
No,
production.
look,
So
all theaters are going to be hurting for a long time to come. It goes back to what I said before. Are you going to go to a theater? A lot of people aren't gonna. I mean, okay, we're going to ease these restrictions. We're going to ease those restrictions, and come hopefully by September. That's the game plan here. We want to put fans in the stands, and the next sporting event is fucking football. So, we got to make sure we can do what needs to be done. So what are we looking at? September, October, November, when we're all clear and it's okay to resume a normal life without any kind of restrictions? It could be theaters could be fucked by then anyway, because people are gonna go, well, fuck it.
there's a higher speculation of the probability of normalcy only being at the end of the research period.
Yeah, see, this is all bullshit because we didn't go through this with SARS, which killed more people. We didn't go through this with MERS, which killed more people. We don't go through this with the flu, which so far has killed more people.
Well, that's if you believe the misinformation.
Depends on how you crunch the numbers.
Well, considering the fact that they stopped keeping track of flu.
Yeah, they had to. For a while, for the beginning of this, it was flu, influenza, SARS, COVID. They were all lumped together. We'll never know.
No.
Period. We'll never know. And the information I was putting out there today, you can see if you read that article, wow, it kind of highlights a lot of data in there, how hard it is to come up with a mortality rate.
And next outbreak.
You gotta know how many people were infected at that point in time and how many died at that point in time, and we don't have that data.
No.
That data does not exist.
Even though, you know what my most grandest feel-good story that has come out of the entire coronavirus?
What?
Which is?
The 101-year-old woman who was around for the Spanish flu and got COVID and recovered currently.
Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't she 109?
It might have been.
I think I read that. I'm not sure. John,
It might have been. I can't remember the exact age of it, but I'm sorry. She was over 100. Sorry that I don't have that part correct. No. I'm not saying this for you. I'm saying this for the rest of the internet.
I thought I read that somewhere, and I was like, 109.
Yeah, bitch is over 100, and she's lived through the Spanish flu, caught COVID, and recovered.
Yeah.
John, get some.
Your video back on. You're frozen.
Get some. Your grandma's a badass. Yeah, not anymore.
Right? Yeah.
Your grandma's a badass. Not anymore. I saw the baddest bitch ever. Like, she's right there. Yeah, she's right there. She's somebody's great grandma.
Yeah. I mean, that shit is funny right there.
Like, all it would have had to have been is if they would have put that video out there and then cut it together with the bad bitch challenge.
Yeah.
And then it would have been like, yep, see, she won that too. Because she a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Like, holy hell.
Far this whole fucking movie industry takes all this.
Well, it's interesting to see how the politics, and like we've argued a lot, the middleman, how he fares in this. Because right now, we know clearly he's the middleman. Like, it is very steadfast that you were only ever a middleman. And you've gotten really mad because your venue doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Currently.
Right.
Currently, whether it comes back into existence or not, like they're placing a big gamble and a lot of shit talk on the fact that like shit just goes back to normal.
True.
You know, and that was kind of my thing from the get-go was like, all right, fine. When does normal happen, and do they, I mean, what kind of gamble are they really willing to put on this? I mean, that's a big flex. Oh, well, you can't show your shit here. Okay.
Oh, Ren, I wanted to tell you. I went to Aldi's yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yogurt up the ass.
Why would you go to Aldi's for that?
Put yogurt up the ass, right? Yeah. Plenty of yogurt, an entire fucking refrigerator full of 18 different kinds of yogurt. Artisan cheeses, all over the place. Regular cheeses, no fucking problem. Milk, not an issue. Stacks and stacks of them in there. Yeah, if you wanted 2%, you have to get somebody because somebody took the last 2% and the metal container thing was still there, so that had to be moved out of the way to pull another one in. And I almost bought it for you. It's the hazelnut dairy creamer.
Lola went to ShopRite today. She found it.
But I will say this:
Crisis averted.
Zero chicken.
No chicken.
No chicken in Aldi's.
No beef.
Very little beef. I was able.
How much was it?
Well, no, normal prices. There's no price gouging on that. Like we picked up a second.
Oh wait, price gouging is coming on fucking protein.
You can't
Yeah,
price
this is a weird situation that we're facing for the next part of this, and logically moving forward, this is kind of a real conversation that maybe we should start now. On, so the speculation is of the interruption of our food chain on the level.
Yes.
That we're talking about. Like this, and it's only speculation, and this is where we've lived. We're living on the front end of the speculation, and we're seeing what actually happens. Because none of us know until it does, because any of us are in that much of a position of power to know how it's going to fucking happen. But when you look at what's going on with the food industry and the processing centers and the ability to take animal to grocery store, that whole chain is in this weird spot right now that nobody has ever seen before.
Yeah.
Like, this is the new one that was thrown at the world.
And this is worldwide with the meat packing and slaughterhouse facilities. This is worldwide. It's not just the United States.
Yeah, this isn't Dust Bowl of a grain interruption or a tobacco interruption. This isn't that cotton. Like, that wasn't purely food crops that were lost during that Dust Bowl catastrophe. And if you go back and you look through that moment, yeah, the East and West Coast both kind of had to pull back a little bit, but it was mainly contained to Central North America where that was a problem.
Well,
what's major problem.
What's the what, John?
What's the saddest part about the meat thing going on right now?
Oh, with the fucking price of shit's gonna go through the roof if this continues.
No, the saddest part is that there's enough stock. They just can't process it.
No, that's it. They're having to
They're
murder.
talking about the fact that they're killing them.
They're having to, like this, like, let's not talk about the fact, like, it's funny. There's a South Park episode where Integrity Farms, all right, is decided what they're going to do with all their extra trimmings from their pot plants is make a plant-based burger. The burger is so good that beef production is majorly interrupted. The farmer that raises the cattle doesn't go to the processing plant or anybody else. He goes straight to Integrity Farms and goes, here, since you wanted to fuck everything up, this head of cattle is now your problem. Gives him all the fucking cattle, and within a certain time period, he's just like, what the fuck? I don't want to take care of all these motherfucking things. And him and Towley get together and just start blasting them all in the fucking head all over the farm. They get mega, mega high, and they go in and they start murdering all these fucking cows because they're like, what the fuck are we going to do with them? And then the video leaks, and they're like, they're murdering all these cows. And he's like, what? We didn't eat them. Because the vegan mandate at that point, you know, the plant-based burgers was his trump card in the conversation of what he had going on. And so when you look at this situation, though, I'm not even arguing for the vegan and the plant-based alternatives as being an option as far as what we may be forced into as far as food production may go, even though it's a speculative alternative that could possibly happen. That's not even, like, right now, the literal protein chain is interrupted.
What I don't understand about all of this, and, you know, John, you said, well, they're killing the fucking animals because the places that are doing that,
Tyson,
are the places that are contracted to deliver fresh meat. Fresh.
So what kind of concession are you willing to make for the product that comes to your door?
What I don't understand is if if you're having issues with selling fresh meat, okay, to restaurants because they're all fucking closed, okay, Wendy's is having the issue. Wendy's only serves fresh, never frozen beef. And if these farmers are now, oh, I gotta have to kill my cattle and dump my milk or whatever, why aren't you shifting the processing from fresh to frozen?
Wait, hold on. Did you just support frozen milk?
Well, not frozen milk. I mean,
no. You just made milk part of your example moving forward, and you said just freeze it.
Can't freeze milk. I tried that.
No, I got him. He's come to the dark side, you motherfucker.
But my point here is if it's the animal meat packer, the animal industry here, your fucking beef and chicken, and those farmers who are crying, oh, I gotta kill my fucking animals. These are the farms, the farmers, the packing plants, whatever the fuck the case may be, that are delivering fresh meat. 90% of what you buy in a fucking supermarket is never fresh anyway.
Well, no, it goes through a process. It goes through a processing plant.
Read your label. Previously frozen, and we defrosted it for you in case you wanted to fucking eat it tonight. But if you don't want to eat it tonight, we kept it at fucking 44 degrees in our little refrigerated area. Get it home and freeze it, and you're good. You're okay. You can do that.
Possibly.
Well, you can do that. We do it all the time.
Yeah, but there are the moments where, like, that temperature is just a guideline, and it kind of gets a little out of skew, and you may buy some meat that's not necessarily the safest meat. It happens. It happens. Yeah, well, we accept these risks as consumers in the previous market, but now in this current market, that situation is changing just a little bit, and the guidelines are a whole lot stricter. Like, fresh food is the one thing that needs to be going to market. And that's the problem. We don't have a logistical solution in order to make it, take it, and bake it.
See, yeah, exactly. And this is one of the things I don't understand is if all right, so you're raising your cattle and your farm, you're building your farm, you're doing whatever, and you've got your contracts for your restaurants, and it's fresh fucking meat shipped right from the fucking butcher.
Farm to table.
Right, farm to table, exactly. Well, that shit's not happening. It's not where is farm to table? 90% of all your fucking high-end restaurants or restaurants in general, period, are closed. Now there are a lot starting to open up for curbside pickup. Seeing that all around now. I'm actually watching it happen across the United States and all these various states and shit like that. But why didn't anybody make the shift Oh, okay. All the restaurants are closed. We're going to be closed for another 30 days now to put us at 90.
Welcome to New Jersey. I heard that today, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, look at that. What I liked was the response
country.
from down south
Yeah.
was that, where's a good revolution when you need one?
Yep.
Because
Yeah, but the crazy thing is New York hasn't even said yet, and New York is not going to open before New Jersey.
hey, Ren.
You hear it tomorrow because that, you know.
I was talking to one of the people that I support in New York.
Yes.
One of the comedy club owners, and he's figuring he might be able to do 50% capacity August or September. That's when he's thinking, based on everything he's heard, all the knowledge he has, his contacts, everything else. He's thinking he might be able to do 50% capacity.
We had this conversation Tuesday. The comedy club in Florida opening up 25% capacity. Comedy club, 25% capacity.
Did you say that their first night didn't even have anybody?
I don't know. No, their first night is the 9th, right? What's today?
There was what you were talking about on Tuesday. I listened in on Tuesday.
I thought they're.
Maybe it was in Georgia, but they had nobody show up for the show.
Oh yeah. They did have nobody show up for the show, but they did very little advertising, from what I understand on that. The one in Florida is bombing every comedian across Facebook to get them there, no matter what, to pack the place, to actually open up a third show, which is weird because the last show is at 8:30, and up here we're supposed to be indoors by then. We're not supposed to be out. So I don't know what the fuck Florida's doing, but hey, good for them. Let them do their fucking shit and whatever. I'm a big.
So what's your guess on the flare up after all this opening?
There won't be no flare up. There ain't no flare up now. Numbers are dropping off by the wayside. If you look at the numbers for purely in New Jersey, more
June
than
June 15th, everything shuts down again due to rise in
never going to happen. First off, there aren't that many cases. Stop it. 60 days of lockdown and look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers in your own state, Ren. 8,000 deaths, and more than half are from long-term living facilities. That means old people stuck in a fucking nursing home who can't go anywhere because they're too fucking old to go anywhere.
Yeah, but it's the people that work there that bring it in. Come on.
Well, yeah,
what did it just float in the door? Come on, man.
You tell me how 66%
deliver.
Web. It still boils down to in this state we happen to catch it early enough to mitigate the disaster.
What, by one day? We didn't catch it early enough.
No, we caught it early enough to mitigate. If we had done nothing for another week, I guarantee you these numbers would be triple what they are.
Yeah, but we all know that was never going to happen with New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania being
because it already happened. I'm saying, take the case of, we'll wait another week and see what happens mentality.
Yeah.
No, fuck that 30 days.
Would be triple.
Yeah,
these numbers would be triple. So now we're sitting here going, okay, we're still having positive cases going in, and anyone who has half a brain cell knows these are all the backlog tests that have occurred that are coming through now. Just like it's always been, it's been historic testing is where our daily numbers that the governor comes out and says are people that were tested 2.5 weeks ago.
Numbers are a little quicker than that now. My numbers are almost real time.
Did you even go on Wednesday?
My numbers? No, I'm going. I'm going to go Monday. I got up late.
You know why he didn't go?
Because I got up late.
Yeah, because he finally got a plate. You know, Uber. You know, Uber sent me a notification going and saying, "Hey, your tag's been extended."
Oh, really? I'll be right back. Your tag's been extended, huh? That's a beautiful thing.
They were we understand the DMB's closed, and the DMB understands that they're closed, and here you go. Here's an extension on that. So you don't have to worry about
it. I went and bought the Jeep, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, so how does all this work? And he's like, well, I'm going to give you a temporary tag. And it's pretty much good until DMV opens and I send you new tags.
Yep.
And now the Jeep I bought, its inspection is New York State. It's not even New Jersey. So I have, once I receive said tags, with that is going to come a card that says you have 15 days to get your car inspected.
Yup.
So I'm literally driving around a car that only has one tag on the rear, no in-state inspection.
Oh no, hold on. All right, yes, all right.
I
What
could
everything
put a mask on, go commit a crime, come out, swap my tags, take off my thing, bleach my fucking beard, and get away with whatever crime I ever did because there's no accountability.
Very possible. No, well, there's a certain degree of accountability because you signed on the line at some point to a VIN number. Now, Georgia told you to hold their beer.
Told you to what?
Hold their beer. Because
hold their beer.
Because hands down, in Georgia, right now, if you were of age and your parents say that you can drive, they don't need to issue you a driver's license. It's okay. No driving exams at all taking place in Georgia right now.
We all know our brethren situation, correct? We all aware of that, right? And we've all gone through the litany of everything I had to go through with the vehicle that I got rid of, that the DMV came after me. So the morning before I go buy said vehicle, because what they were suspending was my privilege to register a vehicle.
That's right.
I'm on the phone, waiting on hold from 7:30 in the morning until 10:30 in the morning, and I get a lovely older woman who's like, "Yep, you're all good. You paid your, reinstatement fee. You did this, you did that. We're good." I was like, "Yeah, so I'm going to buy a car today. Am I going to have any problems?" She's like, "Nope, you're good." I'm like, "So how about registering this vehicle?" She goes, "DMV's closed. We're not set up to register new vehicles online."
Bing.
You can renew a registration online, but they're in now, mind you, if I ever showed you the state of New Jersey's MVC website, you'd be like, "What is this?" It literally looks like it's from 1996.
It's all Adobe Flash.
No, it's not even Flash, bro. It's like those old
school. Well, no,
it
couldn't be because my computer won't even let me do that.
What did you send me here?
Oh, no. Well, that was something I posted in Slack, but I decided I would share it with John, too. I was like, here, John.
What was that?
Did you see the article I posted in Slack?
I've seen everything you put into Slack.
So,
I don't see Slack, so I can't see it.
No, I posted what I posted in Skype.
Yeah, giant horn. So, all the cruise ships in the world, or at least on the East Coast that have berths on the East Coast, have no place to go.
No, they can't dock. They were suspended.
And when they are in port, it costs way too much money to keep them in port.
Do you know why those ships? Do you know why those ships exist though?
Entertainment.
No, those ships exist to camouflage the two ships me and Webb have talked about on several occasions.
Florida is launching their boats come August.
Yeah, to go pick up some of the patrons that are out and.
No. You can book a cruise right now for August, leaving out of 3 places in Florida, and only Florida.
Tampa, Miami, and Port Canaveral.
Yeah,
that's right. But you can
the only 3 ports they have.
Right. You can book a cruise right now for August departure.
Now you talk about going to the movies. Who's booking a fucking cruise?
I'd go on a cruise.
You won't go to the movies, but you'll go to a cruise?
Bro,
I
it
would go
cost
to
you
the theater.
no money to go on a cruise. You
Yeah,
can go on a fucking 7-day
$300.
cruise and stay in the best cabin for $1,000.
Yeah, Vegas right now is a big option too. So
They're only going to U.S. destinations, which I found to be even funnier because that's funny right there. That's funny. Put that in there, you Thump.
you know it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Who
That's
dropped
definitely-
this meme in chat? Come on, who's here?
It's like all these parents homeschooling kids now and shit, or helping them do their virtual learning. Fucking reverse Common Core math, please.
Yeah, that's what we're really hoping comes out of this, right?
Teach these kids to learn how to fucking carry the one. I mean, Jesus Christ. Now's your opportunity to redo all the stupid shit that was done 8 years ago, or however long it was. But yeah, cruise ships. You can take a cruise. You're not going much of anywhere, except unless it's a United States property, which means what? Where you going? Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Easter Island, maybe?
Yeah, but that's only if you're departing out of certain states, because only certain states can travel.
Only one state. That's it. The only fucking cruise line is leaving out of Florida, and that's it.
Yeah, but you got to be able to leave your respective state in order to do that.
Well, you can get on a plane. I mean, you just had a fucking plane full of people land in North Carolina. You can get on a plane. Air travel was never restricted. You know, I mean, China was, and then Europe, and by then it was too late anyway. We already know that. It was way too late. I don't know. So much shit happening that makes no sense to a lot of people, and then to other people, there's this fear. You know, I read a lot of the Facebook posts of people who, I had to go to the store today. It's the first time in a month I went to a store, and I'm thinking to myself, what? A month?
Because they hoarded everything prior to.
No, I read a lot of shit. Online shopping. I mean, look, the hair salon down the block, Jason's Place, is now doing curbside drop-off for hair dye products. The line there today was insane. There were got to be about 16 cars lined up, waiting with their trunks.
And they're another, and not calling out Jason, but that type of deal is banking on the AMC model of, we're going to sell you these products, you're going to go home and do it.
Yeah,
lock it all up and need to come back to us to fix it.
Here's your fucking directions, and here's a DVD or a thumb drive with videos of how to do it. Here you go. Here's everything. Here's the dye, not just dye in a bottle, but here's the fucking little tray that we squirt the shit into and we mix it. And here's the paintbrushes you need to do your highlights with video explanations. I mean, it's a brilliant idea. Open the fucking places back up in some way. You know, one of the funniest things I keep thinking about in my head is all those people who work in office buildings, and you oogle over that hot girl in the office. Wait until you see her when you can go back to work. No dye job, no haircut for 2 fucking months, 3 months.
Gain 20 pounds.
You're right. Probably gain more. Who knows? I mean, I feel like I've put on about 8 pounds already myself. And you know me, I don't gain weight.
No. Our friend from the salon you're talking about.
Yep.
His quarantine bod picture.
Yeah.
It completely explains it. Like anybody within the circle.
Yeah.
Please spread that within the circle. If you have not seen my quarantine bod pic, that is
yeah, it's fucking hysterical.
that is the joke.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? Oh,
Yeah, I don't think anybody's nailed it ever quite so appropriately. And you're like, oh, look at, yeah, you did that, did you? Even, even put on the grease flaps, huh?
true that. Right.
Oh, just calm down, son. Calm down.
I do want to say there are a tremendous amount of people, including myself, who are in the mindset that the economy is important. I don't want to say it's more important than the lives of people or the deaths that have happened through this, but for anyone out there who is sitting back and going, I'm just going to fucking stay in the house another 3 months and that's that and fuck this, we are going to kill our economy to the point where it will not come back. You had your
In its current format and other things like the one thing I think that we all need to really focus on is whatever decision that we make as a society moving forward is a commitment.
Yep.
That y'all better be ready for the ride. Because now we're at a point where our speculative conversation that we've had for a couple months, the revolution that we debated upon whether or not could or would happen, the bullshit about the companies and everything else that we've talked about, like all of that shit, we're right now starting to look at the idea of that mental breakdown of society. Like, where are people at and what are they wanting to do right now? Like, not for anything, the three of us, we're good.
Yeah.
Webb's pretty inconvenienced by not being able to go to the bar and hang out with his friends.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah.
Ren's fortunately in a new relationship, unfortunately with a nurse that's at a hospital. So there's like the give and the take of his situation. And then there's me who's kind of just been here the whole time. I've been hanging out in like the internet and at home, and my girl goes to a pharmacy. Like, our world didn't change like at all on either end of our perspective. She gets a little bit more annoyed at work, and I feel that occasionally the servers are slow because too many goddamn people are home. But that's literally about kind of what our
First
shit
world
is.
problems.
Yeah.
Well,
but
I mean, look,
we're on the cusp of a tilt where these conversations aren't going to be the same because people are kind of getting fed up, food chains being interrupted, and certain people are already hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we're at a point where like some people couldn't go that week, much less the 14 days that would have been required for quarantine if they had COVID, to an influx of a nationwide staggered 2 months.
Let me interject with that one statement before we get too far astray.
Okay.
Most individuals, sociologically speaking, have very much a me attitude.
Oh yes.
It's me. I don't care. Yes, I'm sick. I'm historic. Like, before this pandemic, if I had a cold and I could manage my cold and manage my symptoms, I would go to work because I had to go to work.
Yeah, my girl is that
Should I
person
have
too.
stayed home? Maybe. Would it have been the right thing to do? Probably. And this is like going back to my like working in corporate America, where you felt like you were a number, and if you didn't show up, you feared for your job. It's not like the environment I've worked in for the past 8 years, where it's I work in a startup environment. Oh, you don't feel good? Work from home. Put in whatever time you can. We appreciate whatever you can give us today or tomorrow until you feel better, whatever, however long that takes.
Mm.
You know, if this takes 7 to 10 days, all right, we might start questioning whether or not you're still sick. But, you know, do what you got to do. You're worth more to us and you're more valuable to us healthy than you are sick. But a lot of these people in this pandemic's like, I may have COVID, and think about all the stories you've heard and everything you've heard. Like someone coughed on someone, and all of a sudden, like, I got the COVID. Oh, you got the COVID? Why the fuck are you out of your house?
Question:
Like, what is
how many of
wrong
those
with
people
you?
have you ran into though? Like,
Well,
how many people?
Me, none, because
Okay.
I'm smart enough not to put myself in a situation
Yeah,
like
but
that.
the thing about it is like, how many people from your office of people know people with COVID?
I know in my company alone.
No, I don't want you to tell me what your company has told you. How many people do you know within what you know in your interactions of people within your company have come down with COVID? Not what
Are
the
you talking
company
about
told you.
currently or
Historically?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll take either one of those.
35.
So you know 35 people that you at some point may have interacted with?
You got to remember, I work in a co-working space, so yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. So you know those people, though?
I know who they are. Yeah, have I interacted
Wait,
with them
hold on.
at some point in time? Yeah.
Do you know who
My
they
answer
are
to
because
that
you
is
read
one.
them off a registry?
No, I
So
know them because of uh, 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 the new term that's coming alive now. Apple and we all know Apple and Google joined together to create contact tracing.
Yeah, that's yeah.
When you work in a co-working environment, hey, so and so company kind of near your company, this someone from their company came down with COVID, and when you know that company is a company of 1, 2, or 3 people, it's not hard to figure out. Like
well,
you
yeah, but no, it's
can
still a Yeah,
ascertain
but it's still a
data.
speculative conversation. So literally, you don't know any of
I
those
know of
people.
35 people. I know of 35 people in my immediate surrounding, not including my lady and what she's dealt with, working in a hospital that she has come in direct contact with, which I can't even count.
We have 6 people and we know one.
So
Cool.
one out of your
What?
6 people within the studio has come down with COVID.
Yeah, Marco.
No shit.
Marco has COVID.
No, he's done. He's fixed. He's fixed. You know.
Well, he's went through the cycle. So this is
He's
one
went through the
person
cycle.
confirmed COVID, and literally this, not for anything, Ren, that is literally the closest connection that you have to COVID.
No.
Okay, so who inside of Marco that you have beyond
3
that?
people in the company
I don't
that
know if
I
he
work
wants that
with
blasted
that I
all
have
over the
had.
world. Let's like drop his name.
Three people in my company that I've had direct contact with in the days leading up to and before we went home from my direct company have had COVID.
All right, so
Okay.
you talked to those people before COVID, and
Yes.
you've talked to those people since COVID.
Yes.
Like those people, those
Yes.
35 people.
3 of those 35 people were from my company.
Over here, out of 100 employees, IDK, one person. She interacts or did interact with 30 people every day. One person. And that's the reason why their company sent everybody home.
Well,
2 days
no, you know
before
about
the
somebody who
mandate.
somebody was connected to a COVID.
Oh no! Well,
No. I have literally been connected to 3 people in my personal company of 35 that I came into.
Yeah, because
contact.
Digger's wife was sent home on speculation of being involved in an environment of COVID.
I'm talking about her office and office employees, people she was with every day, and only one out of the 100 people work for our company. She interacts with a group of up to 35 people. So let's say she's in contact with 35 of the 100
Well,
people.
no, I'm not
Only one
speculating.
person.
See, that's just
Yeah,
it. No,
only,
that's not what I'm talking about.
only
You
one
said,
person.
let's say this is what happens. I'm saying you were told that somebody walked through her environment with COVID and she was sent home for 14 days. You
I have 3
personally
people.
have no connection to any actual COVID patient. You've just been told that somebody may have had COVID that walked through an environment.
I have had connection with 3 people that have
That's
had
where
COVID
Renz
from
is
my company.
different. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm saying Donna, IDK, one person. She was standing with right there.
I'll be right
2
back.
days later, that person positive for COVID. 2 days after that, company shut. She was involved with 1 out of 35 people. There are 100 people in her business. She deals with 35 of those people in her area.
You
And
were
one
you
of
were
those,
you in that situation were the actual, like, you were front, like I know that was a frontline situation
she was
where
exposed in
they
person.
weren't gonna close. They were very hesitant. They were gonna keep their
Right.
offices open, and then that was the situation that sent her home.
Yeah. Now with Digger and Eminem, that was a situation of we may have had an exposure here, so everybody go lock down 14 days.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Her
I
situation was completely speculative.
I do believe that person came out
Yeah, well, no, no,
negative.
no. Hold on. Even the Donna situation wasn't the person who came in that day. It wasn't the person that she spoke to. It was a associate of a child of that person.
Right. It was the mother of the child who it then wound up testing positive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even in your
So she
situation,
had the
it's 3
she had the
times removed.
she had the contact with her in a positive
Yeah,
state.
what?
Period.
Yeah, but that's no.
Yeah.
She didn't have a contact with the person who was positive.
Well,
She had a
tested-
contact with the person who was in a positive possibility.
No, she tested positive.
No, you said it was the co-worker's son's friend.
Started with the son. Okay. So they sent out the alert that someone here has been in contact with COVID.
And then this person was confirmed COVID.
It was confirmed COVID. 4 days after the initial I've been exposed type of shit. Because the kid came down with it, and then it was like, oh fuck, I've been at work for 9 days now. My kid's got it. They sent her home. 2 days later, the company said, fuck it, we're closed, and that's that. And then on one of the conference calls, it came out that that person, I forgot her name, tested positive. So she was in direct contact with a positive COVID, or excuse me, at that point, someone who was exposed, which turned out to be positive anyway, which means you're the carrier and whatever.
I don't know. It seems to cater to a narrative that perpetuates this, what I believe is an absolute. Like, at this point, I'm convinced that it's just bullshit.
I think all of this is bullshit at this point.
Yeah, but you just argued your way into validating it.
No, well, I said to you, you asked him the question of how many
I did.
people-
I asked him a question. He validated his statement right off
Right.
the bat. You came around and gave me another story, and then I was like, all right, well, I mean, that doesn't really meet the criteria. And you were like, oh, well, let me find a way to meet the criteria.
No, I didn't try and fucking find a way to meet the criteria. I gave you hard, cold facts, just like Ren did. He said he's involved
No.
with 5 people.
The difference between what you said, Webb, and what I said, Webb, is I came into direct contact with 3 people. Your girlfriend
came in
contact with 1. You have
Possibly.
not come in contact with
Me?
any.
No.
0.
Zero.
That's what he was looking for.
I know.
Well, that
people
was
that's
the
not gonna-
initial question. How many people do you feel that you, like, or no, actually not feel? Do you know that like people around you that have had COVID? And the numbers are really farly askew.
I know.
Now,
quite a
stop.
few
I
people
gave
have
you
it, but
3
I-
out of my company. I know I have come in contact with 28 out of the 35 people because of the environment I work in. It's a co-working space. There are On my floor alone, there is.
I guess there's a good thing we don't have to worry about those co-working spaces anymore.
We're still paying for one. We had that conversation the other day. Like, when and what point in time does my company go, hey,
what are we doing?
We function a-okay the way we're functioning, and maybe we rent a boardroom or a event space to have group meetings, discussions, and whatnot once a month, twice a month, and we spend
get together for conventions.
Yeah,
the rebirth of the convention
once, twice a month for an all company-wide face-to-face meeting. Do we really need to have like a $20,000 a month rental of an office space?
How weird would it be if even those moments don't happen?
There's no point.
Because when y'all get together the first time, half the people in your association break out with COVID. That like kills 20%, and then you're like, holy fuck.
Well, considering in my company of 35, I've come into contact with essentially just shy of 10%.
It's a whole bunch of holy fuck. It's like we don't know.
I mean,
it's all speculative.
35 people in my company, I came in contact with 3.
It's all speculative. Now, personally, Marco, even though I've never met Marco is the closest
for you
at all of a representation of an actual COVID patient that has existed in my circle of friends.
Drop the poor guy's name.
Because Ren shit, it's so off in the distance. Even those 3 people don't mean nothing to me. And then Webb, your situation, goddamn, that means even less. Because it's totally fucking irrelevant in my situation. Now, Marco, on the other hand, I know he's had an association with 2 of y'all and with John, and it's a guy that's like recommended on my Facebook fucking friends list on a regular fucking basis. This guy is tightly knit to people that I am closely fucking related to.
Oh, by the way, Thump, since, my vacation I was planning this year, which was Jamaica, is essentially...
Jamaica.
It's okay. I'm going to New Orleans. Fuck it.
It looks like that if there is even a potential of a vacation, potentially even possible happening, it may be Atlantic Beach again. So if you want to hook up,
well, let me know. Let me know where you're going to be. I may be able to accommodate a trip down to Atlantic Beach. It's good, man. It's such a lovely area. Yeah,
nice speed.
Yeah, it's just such a lovely area. You could just chill out and just fucking hang out. If you want like some exciting shit, go onshore. If you don't, stay offshore. Just go with your little barrier island.
Down onshore. Went over the bridge, went to the right, went up like 5 miles. There's a little town right there.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of it. But yeah.
It's just Wilmington, but
no, way north of Wilmington.
Ren, you mentioned the words.
No, essentially, it's just coastally. It's just Wilmington. It just like all those intercoastal pathways. They all mimic Wilmington.
Went to the restaurant. It wasn't very good.
Atlantic Beach?
Yeah, when we went to Atlantic Beach, we went over the causeway. We took a right.
Oh,
Beaumont? Beaufort.
Oh yes, Beaufort. Yeah, Beaufort. Oh God, y'all went. Look, what you needed to do was go over the bridge and take a left instead, and go as far away from Beaufort as you could get. Yeah, that's. Oh man, that is like the podunk of podunks.
Beaufort was pretty. Actually, what we'd want to do is drive.
Their food is notoriously not.
Well, he gave us all these directions to go and take a boat over to. Now I need to open a map. It's in the Keys, but the only way really to get there is take a ferry.
There's no Keys.
Not Keys. Outer Banks.
Yeah, do you you understand the entire Outer Banks encompasses like the entire coast of North Carolina, right? It generally starts right at our border, and that's how our state got its shape, is because where those islands kick out and come back in.
Anybody watch that show on Netflix?
Which one?
Yes, I did.
Outer Banks.
I did.
It's pretty damn good.
It was good if you like teenage angst.
That was the premise of it. It was pretty good. I would highly recommend it for any teenager to watch. It was right up their alley.
There was a show in the 90s that was that show.
Yeah, Melrose Place.
No, not Melrose.
90210?
No. Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek. There you go. One Tree Hill.
No, Dawson's Creek literally was at the Outer Banks. Like, I actually have a guy I went to high school with that made it onto Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely
it was all filmed here. It literally was an Outer Banks story.
So, Ren, you mentioned contact tracing.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
How do we feel about that? Do we think that's even going to work?
No, I think it's all a Rokachoke. A Rokacoke.
Yeah.
How does it work when somebody doesn't have the right phone?
It doesn't matter. It's cross-platform.
It doesn't matter because it's opt-in, and nobody fucking opts in to shit. There's still people running around with shutting their Bluetooth off.
Yeah, I was going to say there are so many people who opt out of services right now.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to know where I'm going, so I'm not going to use Bluetooth.
That's Ocracoke.
Ocracoke, yeah. That's where we were recommended to go to.
Yeah, it's good space.
Lots of fun is what we heard.
Contact tracing was used heavily during the Ebola outbreak.
We need to head from Atlantic Beach down to India Beach. India Beach is just a small little trailer park area of an island. And those people know how to get it done, man.
We went all the way down to the end of Emerald Isle.
Yeah, that's just you pass through Indian Beach onto Emerald Isle.
Yeah, we went to Emerald Isle. We went out on the pier.
Yeah, Emerald Isle's got a nice pier. Atlantic Beach just blew away during Hugo like 20 years ago. But...
Yeah, Atlantic Beaches was not built back up.
No.
Yeah, the mermaid drink.
Be right back.
Be right back.
I just don't see how contact tracing is going to work. Considering you need to be around someone exposed for at least 10 minutes.
So well, you think about if you go into an environment like a movie theater and or a sporting event and or go to the beach or go to an amusement park or go to anything where people gather and people move in herds, that's how it works.
Yeah, but then there's herd immunity.
That's the concept of it.
Yeah, herd immunity. You take care of all that shit anyway. But what are they going to do? Oh, you came across someone who had COVID?
No, it's more about new cases happening. So, for example, you get COVID, and everyone, and we're doing a show from the studio, and everyone that's at the studio has the contact tracing app. All of a sudden, 5-10 days later, you come down with COVID. Every single one of us that was anywhere near you at the studio would get an alert letting us know you got COVID. That's how contact tracing works.
That's not how this is going to work. No one's going to know. You're not even going to know. Data will be sent to state agency apps that they're running that are tracing the spread person. You won't know. It's not like your phone's going to go, uh-oh, COVID person next to you 2 fucking feet away. That's not how your phone ain't going to do shit.
Yeah, but by the time that all figures out, the layers of people...
Next week.
What do you mean next week?
Next week, phase 1 gets dropped on everybody's phones.
No, that's not what I meant.
Well,
What I meant was is by the time it figures out, like Ren just said, it's 2 to 14 days, right? So let's say you get it, right, and I'm with you, and 14 days later you get it, and then they contact trace back to me. Now you got to go 14 days of all the people I've been in contact with, and by the time you're done, you might as well just say it's everybody. I mean, it's that, unless you're a person that doesn't go very many places.
Well, see, this is one of the reasons why I want to go get tested. And it's actually one of the reasons I took offense with what Ren said the other night of, well, what are you going to go get tested for? Because you haven't been exposed to anybody. You're just wasting a test. I'm not wasting a test. Everybody should go get tested.
For the antibodies or for the COVID?
Whatever fucking test
Which one?
If you can get an antibody test, go for it.
Webby, my comments come from because you're one of those people who be like, hey, I went and got tested. See, I told you there was nothing wrong.
No, that wasn't the point at all. The point was go get
tested. That's the
tested.
type of personality you have.
Well, you assumed, and that was very bad, ass you, me.
No, well, that's your personality, and that's something you would pull.
The point, and I put it out there on Facebook, my last 3 or 4, go get fucking tested. Antibody test would be dynamite if we can believe the results of them. Absolutely.
Can you believe? Well, hold on a second. With all the conspiracy talk of Tuesday, can you even believe the swab test?
Yeah. I have no doubt about the swab test. The false positives that come back from that have been like less than 1%. At least everything we're being fed is less than 1%. All of the faulty tests were destroyed and are not circulating in the general public. So I do believe in that. The antibody test is a different story because I've been reading a lot of bullshit on that. And there's like 4 different tests and some of them aren't coming out right at all. But 267,000 people in the state of New Jersey have been tested. 9.2 million people live here. You do the math and figure out the percentage of how many people have had tests versus those who haven't.
Yeah, but see, okay, now you went off on a diatribe before of 60 days, I'm done with this, another 30 days, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
30 days is unconstitutional, but go ahead.
No, the 30 days is based upon the data that you're spitting out is the data that they're working by going, well, hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Well, we've only tested 0.1% of our population.
That's right.
We can't, in our right minds, just go back to business as normal.
Then test people. Go door to door and test households. Get up off your
And
ass.
where are you going to get those bodies to do that?
Who gives a
that are trustworthy and reliable?
Figure it out. You got fucking 8,000 fucking nurses running around in hospitals. Go figure it out.
And those 8,000 nurses are supposed to test.
Go to the
8,750,000 people.
We have fucking places all over the state to go get tested. Go to your fucking local library. They're doing tests there. Free. No fucking prescription. No bullshit. Walk in, get tested. South Amboy Library. Call your local fucking police station and find out where you can get tested. There's 5 major facilities in this state that do it on independent days. PNC, Monday and Wednesday. Atlantic City, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Open to the general public. You want to get out of lockdown? Go get tested. See, this is the issue. Nobody's getting tested unless you walk into a hospital or you go.
Honestly, I think the bigger issue is what's going on now in ERs, and I can speak from this from experience, is the normal, and air quote this one, normal stroke, heart attack, agita, panic attacks, all of these type of symptoms that would normally be showing up I need an ambulance. I got to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to the hospital anymore. Everybody is petrified to go to the hospital.
Oh, sure, I would be too. I have a real close fucking relative, family member that's about to drop a kid any day now.
So here, Webb, here
Nice
is how contract tracing works.
Oh, I know how it works. I have read the white papers from Google and Apple. I know exactly how it works.
Well, I just gave it to you. If you come in contact with someone, you will get a notification saying you were in contact with someone. I'm not going to give you a name.
Right, but that won't be until we're in May, July. Right now, as of next week, when this goes live on everybody's fucking phone, if you opt into it, you have to download a health app and put your information in. I have tested positive for COVID. I have antibodies. And anytime you cross someone else who has that fucking same data running on their phone, the contact matches are made. The data is sent to an independent fucking health app run by the state or local government. You will not get any notification of shit.
I like it. State or local government has now seized control over my
if you then
federally controlled information.
You're experiencing COVID symptoms. All phones that have been nearby will receive an alert from the app. Users reading the alert will now know they may have been near a person with coronavirus and can self-isolate.
That's right.
But that's what I was saying.
That section's not happening until July. Phase 1 goes out like next week, middle of May. Apple and Google's white paper has a date on it. Their API is done, allegedly. And it's being hooked into state and local authority. Why you got to do that to me now? Local authority health monitoring apps. You won't get an alert. You will in June or July. You will in July. But right now, it's not there. And the hopes is in July, you won't have to download an app. It will just be crowdsourced data sharing.
Correct. Directly into your phone's algorithm.
Right. And then sent
just
out
like Google.
Yes. You'll get to the point where you'll get the alert of, you've come across someone who's positive, period. But that's not going to be until middle of July, maybe end of July at the earliest. And you have to opt in. That's the other kicker. I mean,
how long before it's mandated that it's on everybody's phone? Like,
that's right. Good luck.
Well, these are more of the arguments of the exact algorithm of civil liberties that I still get a lot of question with.
Unless it's coming from the carrier, it doesn't have to go on your phone, period.
But how long does it take the government to mandate carriers to go?
It's got to be at the carrier.
You need to put this on all your phones.
It's got to be at the carrier level, period. Because they're the only ones who can pre-install shit on your phone. They're the only ones who can push and force shit on your phone. I have an unlocked phone.
So do I.
Google ain't putting shit on my phone without me accepting it.
Hey, Webb.
It's my phone. Yeah.
The last one I sent you may have fucked you up, but this one is funny.
And fucking torturing me here. Oh, God. I'm going to explain that one for our listeners, if anybody's actually still fucking listening.
Oh, just post it on post that on 8-Bit Bros.
Yeah, post that on 8-Bit Bros, without a doubt. Yeah. Fucking Evander Holyfield. Thanks, Mike Tyson. You can't wear a mask. But I mean, the contract tracing idea, it's good. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Maybe in 10 years it'll work for a generation of people who are all going to be about that. Like the conversation we had last night, the other night rather, with J7. Well, yeah, I want my prepackaged meals. Yeah, because you want everything easy, quick, and handed to you. That's the generation
Well,
that is
there is an argument to be made for moments such as yes.
Wait. Hold on. So, in the height of this pandemic,
Yeah.
and I'm going to the grocery store and I'm going to do my grocery shopping, and I can't find chicken. I can't find toilet paper. I can't even find frozen vegetables, never mind eggs, yogurt, cheese, creamer, all this shit. Do you know
Right.
what I can find stocked on the shelves? No fucking problem.
Toilet paper?
Stofers, lean cuisine,
Sandwich,
uh,
hamburger helper. Yeah.
anything that was a pre. I'm just talking frozen food, bro. I'm not even going like manwich or any of the canned crap. I'm talking like those Hungry Man, any of those pre-made.
Frozen
Stick
dinner.
it in your microwave for 2 to 3 minutes, and you got yourself dinner.
Yeah.
You had no problem getting that. It was anything you'd want to buy as a normal human being to prepare a meal, you couldn't find.
Yeah.
You could find the lean cuisine, the Hungry Man, the manwich, the any of that kind of shit. It was dumbfounding considering normally you walk in a grocery store and it's like, oh, lean cuisine, 5 for 10.
Yo, I hate a motherfucker who play by these rules, man. It's an Uno fly out that plays by those you can play on top of your own cards rules. So I can skip this many times.
Oh no.
Draw two,
Get one
draw
card, man. One card.
Yeah, nah, this poor little boy, man, he laid down his card, he called fucking Uno, and his mom straight run the fucking table, color coordinated, and drawed for his ass on the last card. And it was like, you know what? No, because fuck those rules. Fuck you and those rules.
What do you guys think about states, governors looking at the tech gurus to help re-image future projects, school? I mean, we know Schmidt got involved with
Schmidt got himself in the primo position, if you really want to call it that.
Because Cuomo likes to lick his ass. He's talked about Schmidt for the last fucking 5 years. I mean, the man is a brilliant man, former CEO of Google, now own Schmidt Ventures, which is a stock to look at. You got Bill Gates getting involved with the White House, which could be controversial in itself.
That's such a conflict of interest because he's steering them towards Microsoft, and we all know that.
Well, that's what, of course, Bezos will be pissed about at some point. But I think
Bezos won't even come before Congress.
I know, but the issue with like with Bill Gates getting involved with the White House, and you mentioned conflict of interest. And I know this doesn't 100% apply because of the technicalities. Coronavirus is patented in Europe, and the company that patented is funded by Bill Gates. Coronavirus patented here in the United States by some company called Knox, which in turn turned around and sold that patent to SmithKline Beecham, whatever the fuck their name is now. Is it wise to have someone in technology who?
I don't think coronavirus should be trademarkable.
No, this isn't even a trademark. This is a patent. I own that.
I don't even think it'd be patentable.
I shouldn't be, but it is.
Well, I mean, if you created something, you deserve rights to the creation of it.
Agreed to a certain extent.
Oh, no. I believe if
create-
you created it, you should own all rights to it.
Well, then, yeah. And
Why
then
shouldn't it be patentable?
you didn't create a virus.
Oh, no.
How could you
I
patent it?
believe that you can't sell the rights.
What,
Well,
what are they trying to patent and sell the rights to? The coronavirus?
Oh, that's already been patented.
No,
That was
somebody
patented in
bought the
2006.
rights.
Yeah, SmithKline Beecham bought the patent from Knox Company or whoever the fuck the company was.
Yeah, the real
So
question
Knox
is,
Company-
how did Knox Company get a patent on something that they didn't create?
Well, that's because we all know who runs the patent office.
Well, that sounds more like a copyright issue, not a patent issue.
It's patent number 2,000,000. I don't have that number
Well,
in front of me.
yeah, but you have
it.
to admit that the situation
Oh,
we're
yeah.
arguing in is kind of irrelevantly factual.
Uh-huh.
Like what you're describing should not exist.
Yes. Absolutely.
Not in its current format. It should only exist within maybe a copyright or trademark issue.
U.S. patent 20062578552 is the patent. And that is the patent outbreak of a viral respiratory virus known as severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, because that's where it all derived from. That is a coronavirus, in case you didn't know that. Yeah, it's SARS. Yep, right here, coronavirus. Classified and patented under severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. That is the name of the patent. So not only is it coronavirus, but it covers SARS too. Yeah. Now a drug company owns that patent.
All right, so you're vegan, right?
What's that?
So you're vegan, right?
No vegan,
Yeah, why?
because I like to taste the red meat.
So when I'm cooking a steak, my mouth starts watering. So, well, I was just wondering, when you mow the lawn, does your mouth start watering?
If you're a vegan.
Fuck you.
I mean, you're right though, Thump. Should a patent be issued?
I don't think
pirate?
I don't think patent laws actually are appendable or amendable during this circumstance.
You know, now keep in mind and understand that this patent doesn't apply to COVID-19. This is every coronavirus before that.
Right. I still don't believe it's eligible.
This virus is different than the others, allegedly. And there's only 6 strains of coronavirus that can attack humans, Ren.
Yep.
So there's 14 strains. Is that the number we came up with the other night? 14.
You should go watch that video, Webb.
No, what? Fucking no. The 26-minute fucking pana. What are you talking about?
The video I posted this afternoon.
Yep. The 26-minute pandemic part 2 video.
No, that's. I'm not watching it.
Oh, I'm watching it, but I had to get through some Elon Musk shit first.
Yeah. Well,
Where
you
did
better
post
watch.
it? On Slack?
You better watch it because it's being taken down everywhere.
Yeah, it is. Actually, you can't
Fake
you
news.
can't use that link.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I have the original YouTube link, which is actually still there. Go figure that out.
What video are we talking about?
The createdemic panda. What's it called? Because I have the original one.
I mean, the one that we were looking at is still. Oh wait, no, it's not. The Pandemic Film Part 1, Dr. Judy Makovitz.
Right.
And not for anything, if anybody recognizes that name, don't be shocked.
Yeah. Where's my history?
Because she is caught up in another what the fuck kind of moment. And that's why I had to kind of take a back
It's
seat.
gone.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
It's I have
Yeah,
the
your
original.
link is gone, but
Yeah.
I still have access.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
So somebody give me the link.
It's fake news.
It's such a over. It's just like the ones that come out for the what is it?
Hold on. Give you a link.
You want to see the saddest picture in the world?
This is not the original. This is from CK90, and it's got 600,000 views.
You want to see the saddest picture in the world?
Go ahead. Where's the original?
Boys, I'm dropping out.
All right, John.
Hey,
Thank you. Oh, that is the saddest.
the
picture in the world.
Reverend, who is also not covering his face and promotes the idea.
Oh,
I
he's
got
got-
my cover.
I saw you turning. I saw you turning.
I got my cover.
He got pokey dots.
Yeah, I got polka dots.
He
Courtesy of
all right.
Robert Twain.
All right,
Robert
so
Twain.
the Reverend John G is telling you that don't believe these bullshit political politician and ass fucking revolutionary religious men that are arguing with you and telling you that the only God can save you. Remember, God will save you as long as you cooperate with the way society works.
Yes, that's right. And God's also going to tell you that tomorrow night is tomorrow is the beginning of the New York Underground Comedy Festival.
That's right. I'm glad
Yeah,
you said
proudly support.
Yep. So we're starting the festival tomorrow during the day with the festival links, and then tomorrow night we have a 9 o'clock show. So if you go to NewYorkUndergroundComedy.com, you can check it out and see who's on the lineup. The lineups are all there. Everything's all set.
Hey, Webb.
Nice.
How about your guy?
Yeah.
Our Indian fellow that you decided, like our Native American fellow that you decided to put on Front Street?
Yeah.
Mr. David Manernolic.
Okay.
Yeah, he's also got some other songs in his repertoire. And,
that fucking horrid.
And has made it to raunchy memes.
Yes, yeah, raunchy memes. That's how I found out about it to begin with.
Yeah, raunchy memes are my people.
And then, yeah, I'm in that group. And then I trolled his entire timeline. Dude, there are some fucking... Because the original one they put out there was an AC/DC song.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
All right, I went and put out other ones, and I have a few more that I bookmarked that I will drop in the next coming days. But I thought the Limp Bizkit one was pretty bad. So is the Rolling Stones' Wild Horses.
Yes.
War Pigs it's okay. It's not great. And then there's one where he doesn't know the words to the song. The Final Countdown is horrendous. I'm trying to find the name of this fucking movie. What is this little 26-minute video called? Wasn't it like...
I just told you what the name was. Pandemic Film Part 1, Dr. Judy Malkovich.
No, there's an actual name. The original one I had the credits in the beginning, and it's not a pandemic. It's a...
Pandemic.
Yeah, I think that was the original terminology. Also, Arlington Cemetery is closed, but the soldiers that man the tomb of the unnamed soldier or unknown soldier still walk and still change the guard.
Good.
Even though the cemetery is closed.
That's good. It should be.
All right, I'm gonna bounce unless we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, we can wrap up. Yeah. I'm really pissed this is not in my fucking history. This is the first time I've ever experienced something not being in my YouTube history.
Cleansed. They know what's going on.
The name of this was a play on words off the word pandemic, but meaning it was falsely created, and I can't remember. I will find it. I will find that original link because the comments and content inside of it were excellent. This one,
Plandemic, Plandemic.
Plandemic, right? As if it was planned.
Right.
That's it. Should be able to find it out there that way as the original one.
There you go. Just because I want to fuck up the rest of your night in Slack.
Oh, I do that all the time. You're not already. I have that ready to post on Facebook. Thanks. Somebody memed it already, motherfucker. I got to be quicker. I said that to Donald IDK like fucking 4 days ago. I walked up there and I'm like, COVID-19. She looked at me and she goes, "Don't do it."
Yeah, too late.
And it was too late. That afternoon for lunch, all I heard her in the kitchen was,
Yep. Comes
like,
back. Hits you right in the throat.
Yep. Some of the response videos from the doctors and shit on YouTube to the Plandemic video are quite interesting also.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to troll some shit there, you can troll that out. Make sure you're watching whatever Plandemic is from a decent link and not some fucking crazy lunatic who's looking for more hits on his YouTube channel.
Oh, big shout out to Alex Smith. Project 11 was remarkable. And nobody would have ever believed that you went through that and were able to fucking do anything. And then today on your birthday, your wife goes, "What do you mean? That was child's play."
Oh, Project 11. Yeah. Alex Smith. Yeah.
The dude has come back. Whether he literally ever has a starting role in the NFL again.
We're okay. The word of the video of what I just posted in Slack is crazy sauce.
For which part?
Oh, look, Conan in the house. Yeah, Conan, I got you. I got my wish. Brady versus Breeze, just not in a Super Bowl. It'll never happen in a Super Bowl again. But here's an interesting thought. Anybody know offhand where the Super Bowl is this year?
Okay.
Where's the Super Bowl being played this year, gentlemen?
Now actually I can't remember.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
I just said I can't remember, so.
Yeah, it's being played in Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
How's that for a little bit of food for thought? Super Bowl being there. He gets.
I got stung by a weird looking hornet back in January, so I probably already had murder hornets.
How much toilet paper? That's what I want to know.
I like the bee memes. The bee memes are good. Like, I have literally moved on from this pandemic, and I'm more concerned about, like, the next one.
Yeah, the next one. Exactly. All right. I got 8-Bit Bros. Thursday.
Late edition. Web in a corner of the window.
On a cruise ship.
On a cruise ship. Out with a conglomeration of other boats. I got the perfect picture so you couldn't see the other boats, but
yeah, we know you're still on the 240, so we're good.
I'll snap one from the balcony on the upper deck so you can see all the other boats next week.
Yeah. I doubt the 240 you're mingling with those boats, so.
All right, gentlemen. Good times.
Yes, we out. 8-Bit Bros. Thursday. See you next Tuesday for more controversial talk, arguments, bickering, fights.
8-Bit Bro shit.
8-Bit Bro style.
As I tell everybody, every show I get ready for, yo, I gotta go do some 8-Bit shit.
New Orleans, the 25th for Halloween.
Hope.
Think about that. Well, I'm going to book that. I'm gonna see if at least I'm gonna put in for my press passes. I think I want to see Bridgewater versus Breeze. We out. Well, that didn't play at all. Huh?
Yeah, I was going to say I kind of failed at that. I was like, wow, that's actually kind of interesting, and I was going to let you have the outro.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
So he plays a commercial now.